Welcome to Indiana High School football on K99.3. Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola, Culver Portside Marina, Nepco Crane and Equipment Services, specializing in mobile crane service, Dairy Queen of Winamac, Patrick Auto Group, Farm Fertilizers, First Farmers Bank and Trust, Lawrence Farms, Mark's Body Shop in Knox, Zingo Express, Pulaski Memorial Hospital, Stark County Co-op, Ancilla College, LAP Waste Disposal, The Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen, Standard, Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Collins Insurance, Howard's Marathon of Winamac, and 5 Star. The Coca-Cola pregame show with Mitch Columby and Chris McGowan is next.
The past few years have highlighted many unsung heroes in our communities, and one that comes to mind are educators.
We always appreciate the important work that educators do, but we're especially thankful for how they have gone above and beyond to serve students across Indiana.
I'm Paul Knighty, Commissioner of the Indiana High School Athletic Association, and a proud North Posey Viking.
And I'm Carrie Rosati, IHSAA Assistant Commissioner and a proud Roncalli Royal.
Let's take a moment to thank all of our educators, including those who also coach. They always go the extra mile, not only to develop successful student athletes, but also great people.
High school sports would not be what they are without the men and women who teach and coach our state student athletes.
To all of our educators, we see you, we care about you, and we're really grateful for you.
Let's all support the vital work
this
of
moment
teachers
right
and
here
coaches
is the moment I've
by
practiced
buying
for 3
ticket
weeks.
to
So
your
this part will be
high school's
good.
athletic
This part will be
events.
good.
This is appreciation. This is gratitude. This is your IHSA.
Rick Rod, 5 Star in the Knox Mall. Well, that big old meat wagon just keeps on rolling at 5 Star.
If you don't believe it, Tony, just listen. 73% lean ground beef in the family pack, $2.88 a pound. U.S. government inspected boneless New York strip steaks. We're going to make you keep that grill going, Tony. Family packs, $4.99 a pound. U.S. government inspected center cut rib pork chops, $1.99 a pound. Where is that 5 Star?
And
30 to us, 30 seconds.
Since 1936, Standard Plumbing,
30
Heating, and Air
seconds, check.
Conditioning have always taken pride in
Loud and
doing
clear,
the job
heard you.
right. Third-generation owner Brian Hammond and his family have
That
always
makes me
set
feel a
the
lot better.
standard when it comes to taking care of all your heating and cooling needs. Making your
Can you hear
home
me okay?
a comfortable home is the absolute top priority. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give them a call at 574-936-4660.
I can hear ya.
Okay, here I am about to go.
Follow them on Facebook. Let Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning help you take control of your comfort. Welcome to the Coca-Cola pregame show. Now, here are the voices of K99.3, Mitch Columby and Chris McGowan.
You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Tonight, the Winamac Warriors host the Knox Redskins in a battle we all know so well. For the last 57 years, we've experienced sports broadcasting greatness, and for that, we tip our hat to Harold Welter and thank him for his dedication and service to local high school sports. Thank you for everything you have done for Kankakee Valley Broadcasting. I would also like to thank this next individual who we are lucky enough to have with us tonight, down on the sidelines getting all the inside information, special guest, Nathan Welter. With me here in the booth, I have our sports analyst, you know him well, Chris McGowan. To our general manager, Lenny Dessauer, thank you for this opportunity. I am Mitch Columby. The tradition continues. This is Indiana High School Sports. And we welcome you to Rowdebush Field here in Winamac, Indiana, as the 2022 high school football season gets underway. A beautiful day here, the sun shining bright over the beautifully manicured field as we are set to start the new era of Kankakee Valley Broadcasting Sports on WKVI 99.3 FM and around the world, streaming live on WKVI.com. And Chris, Nathan, in our season preview broadcast this past Monday, both head coaches Josh Burgess of Winamac and Russ Radke of Knox didn't really have much to say to each other. And Chris, I know you were trying your best to get what you could out of them, but I think tonight is going to give us the answers we need to know what they really think about each other. What do you see happening tonight?
First game of the year, you never know what to expect. Neither team has really been able to practice special teams. Again, that's the biggest question mark always going into week one. But again, Josh Burgess has been a long-time assistant coach here at Winamac. So I don't see him changing too much. Russ has evolved a little bit. He's not the traditional wishbone type of guy, but he has, gotten deep into the playbook to kind of fit the offense around what he has. So, again, you never know. I mean, Josh Burgess could come out and run something totally different. I mean, Winamac has been a wing T team predominantly. So, again, week one, a lot of question marks, but I think the biggest question mark is going to come down to special teams tonight.
Let's check in on the other side of the field on the Knox Redskins side. Nathan Welter, our special guest. How you doing, Nate?
Ladies and gentlemen, in the spirit.
Doing okay. The biggest thing is the sunlight is in my eyes a little bit, so I'm going to have to deal with that in the first and third quarters. But other than that, field conditions, great shape down here. The field here at Rodebush is absolutely perfect for the opening week high school football, and very high spirits over here on the Knox side, I can tell you that much.
Absolutely. Nathan Welter, our special guest on the sideline. We're so glad he's with us here tonight. We have quite the matchup. The Winamac Warriors hosting the Knox Redskins. Had a chance to talk to Josh Burgess. We'll worry about that a little bit later, as well as Russ Radke, who enters his 46th season as a head coach in high school football. Chris, that's pretty amazing.
Well, yeah, just to put things into perspective, I turn 46 tomorrow, so you've been doing it a long time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we're going to take a quick break, but don't worry. The Pulaski Memorial Hospital Injury Report is coming up next. You are listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Coke knows there's nothing better than the beat of the summer. The beat begins in a simple and mellow place. From low key.
Now, I can't really hear myself at all. I can hear you guys fine, but I don't know if I'm sounding okay or not. So send me a message if there's anything I need to do.
With the best names in music, all at Coke Studio. Okay. Drink, scan, and enjoy your Coke, so you never miss out on all the amazing offers we're dropping this summer.
BP gasoline with Invigorate helps clean your engine and can give you more miles per tank. Continuous use may result in the following pleasant side effects: excessive smiling, feeling more relaxed, taking more drives just because, volunteering for carpool twice in a row, and bragging to your friends about how you use our best fuel ever. To find out if BP gasoline with Invigorate is right for you, stop by your local station to discover our best fuel ever. Versus minimum detergent gas. Average restored 3 to 5 miles per tank, based on fleet testing and based on what you drive and how you drive.
High school sports brought to you by Zingo Express.
Who's in? Who's out? It's the Pulaski Memorial Hospital Injury Report with Mitch Columbi. Mitch.
Thanks, John. We are looking at one injury for this evening. Garen Knox of the Winamac Warriors. Unfortunately, he was in an incident on US 35 this past week. Don't worry, he is fine. Just a little bit of a concussion protocol. They are going to keep him out for a week or so. So, concussions for Garen Knox. Other than that, there are no other injuries to report. That's pretty good news, I'd say, right, Chris?
Yeah, especially going through 2 weeks of all days or football practice. Anytime, you're never going to feel as good as you do right before that first practice. So to be able to get through that 2 weeks and get through a scrimmage and come out of it pretty healthy, that's huge for both teams.
This has been the Pulaski Memorial Hospital Injury Report here on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
This presentation of our area's local high school sports is sponsored by Pulaski Memorial Hospital in Winamac. Pulaski Memorial Hospital is dedicated to providing excellent health care to improve the health and quality of life of the people and the community they serve. They will meet the community's needs and exceed their expectations by creating the best possible health care experience. For more information of the services they provide, call 946-2100.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties.
Or can
Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider.
Let the screen shut off, or do I need to have my phone running with this?
No, you can let it go sleep.
You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392, the Stark County Co-op.
Because I'm just worried about my battery.
Let's talk with the coaches on the Ancilla College Coaches Corner with Mitch Columbi.
Well, we had a chance to talk to both coaches on the sideline, but of course technology got in the way and my recorder didn't record, so I'm going to paraphrase for what happened. I got to talk to Josh Burgess yesterday in practice, so he gave me a little bit of the rundown of what to expect today. Yesterday they were practicing kickoffs, kickoff return, some punting, a lot of special teams going on. I keep hearing special teams could be the deciding factor in this game from both Russ Radke and Josh Burgess. A lot of extra point, little offensive sets. So they were running through their normal starting setup. We're going to see what they're going to bring tonight, and we're very excited about that. Very sorry we could not get that interview on the air. Next week we will work on getting that better, but deal with the first week jitters, I'd say. The first week jitters. So that is the first interview we have. We will be back for the second paraphrased interview right after these messages. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Welcome to Marion University's newest location, Ancilla College, Marion University. Marion's newest campus location in Plymouth is your home for an on-campus college experience. From living in the dorms to being a collegiate student-athlete, Marion University is ranked third most innovative Midwest university by U.S. News and World Report. For more information about our 2- or 4-year degrees, go to www.marion.edu/Ancilla. That's www.marion.edu/Ancilla.
And welcome back here to Roudabush Field in Winamac, Indiana. Talking about the interview I had with Russ Radke a little bit ago and also yesterday. He told me several people to keep an eye on this evening. And I also got a chance to talk to Coach Cisneros.
Julio
Cisneros, yes, a great guy. He said yesterday was a good practice because everyone was there. Everyone was dressed and ready to go. They're very excited today. He honestly said he doesn't know if any of them will get to sleep last night. So we'll see how much energy's out there on the field. Russ told me you got to keep an eye on a few players. One of them is Miles McLaughlin. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. We need to keep an eye out for him as he might provide some sparks for them on the offensive end. Now, remember, both guys on both sides of the ball, they'll play both offense and defense. So that's just kind of how both of these teams are stacked up, Chris. There's going to be guys getting a lot of playing time tonight.
Yeah, a lot of two-way players, so conditioning could be a factor tonight, especially with this the warmness and the humidity. So it might be some cramping going on. So very, very vital that you are on constantly, if you get a second to take a breather, that you are pushing the fluids tonight on the sidelines, because the last thing you want to do is cramp up in the middle of this contest.
Absolutely. We're going to take one more quick break. We'll be right back for the keys to the game. We'll bring Nathan Welter back in. We'll talk about what the Knox Redskins and the Winamac Warriors need to do tonight to secure their first win of the 2022 campaign. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Culver's Portside Marina handles all water and recreational needs. When it comes to pontoons, Godfrey leads the industry in performance and quality, and Portside Marina has it in stock. From sampan, aqua patio, and sweetwater pontoons, if you're looking for a family boat, Culver Portside Marina can help. Located at 514 West Mill Street in Culver. Stop in or call them at 842-5000. Culver Portside Marina.
Time now for the keys to the game, sponsored by the Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen. Once again, here's Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan.
The Auto Park keys to the game for tonight's game looks like this. Knox versus Winamac, a historic game that's gone down for, I tried to find how many games these guys have played each other. It's almost impossible to figure out how long these two teams have played. Chris, you would know better than anybody, as well as Nathan on the sideline, what each team's key is tonight.
I've already said what my key to the game is going to be, and it's going to be special teams, that third aspect of the game, because you don't get any live reps. Not very many coaches in the state of Indiana are going to do live reps to the ground with special teams for the risk of getting somebody injured. So that to me could be something that could really springboard one of these two teams to a victory tonight. A botched punt snap, or a botched punt return, or missed PAT, then you're chasing that point all night. So again, to me tonight, the third aspect of the game, special teams, I think is going to play a huge part in who's victorious tonight.
What do you think, Nate?
Well, I agree with the special teams, but I also think that it's the new guys to the varsity level of football that are going to be a huge key in this ball game. We heard you say in the pregame interview, a guy by the name of Miles McLaughlin for the Knox Redskins. Now, he is the son of Knox Hall of Fame football player Josh McLaughlin, who played football back in the 90s and was actually the school record holder for career rushing yards until Dawson Patrick broke that record a few years ago. So very high expectations for a guy like Miles McLaughlin coming into his first official season as a varsity football player. Look for him to get a number of touches early in the ballgame to make sure he gets his feet wet. And for the Winamac Warriors, I think the biggest key, you've got to protect Rodham's Field. I mean, this is a place people do not like to come in and play at when they're the visiting team. So for the Warriors, it's all about confidence in this week one matchup against a major conference opponent. You got to protect your home field and be that confident team.
Absolutely right, and I had a chance to look at Miles yesterday, and boy, did he have a lot of touches in practice. So you are exactly right, Nathan. We are going to see Miles get a lot of touches today, and quite frankly, he has the ability to run and catch on the run. So he's very talented, but we cannot forget about their great running back who had an amazing scrimmage last week against Tippy Valley. That, of course, is their running back, Jake Conroy. You got to keep an eye out for him. He can run with a head full of steam, that's for sure.
Yeah, and don't forget that Miles McLaughlin, they have him listed here on the roster as only a freshman. So, future is bright for number 2 for the Knox Redskins.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Nate, you want to go ahead? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I'm chuckling a little bit because, that's one of those things. I mean, here again, it was the same when his father was a freshman at Knox.
Right, yeah.
A lot of teams, they saw him returning kicks, returning punts, and getting in there at tailback as a freshman. Now here's the next generation of McLaughlin. And oh, by the way, his uncle Chris, a guy who I played with during high school, was also a phenomenal athlete. So again, let's have those high expectations for Mr. McLaughlin.
Yeah, and Conroy is only a sophomore. So the backfield for Knox is set for the next several years.
Well, and then one thing we're going to learn here in a second at the starting lineups, Winamac Warriors have a sophomore quarterback and a freshman center. So that'll be very interesting to watch tonight. That'll be very interesting. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back for the LAP Waste Disposal starting lineups. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Get more with Auto Park Ford. It's not just a catchphrase. It's our promise to be more than just a car dealer. Auto Park has the most new Fords in Michiana. It's all about putting you in the right vehicle. Our customer satisfaction speaks for itself with over 1,000 5-star reviews. With 2 locations and a huge inventory of over 500 pre-owned vehicles. Get more with Auto Park Ford. Visit autoparkford.com.
This presentation of our area's local high school sports is sponsored by Pulaski Memorial Hospital in Winamac. Pulaski Memorial Hospital is dedicated to providing excellent health care to improve the health and quality of life for the people and the community they serve. They will meet the community's needs and exceed their expectations by creating the best possible health care experience. For more information on the services they provide, call 946-2100.
Now it's time for the LAP Waste Disposal
Starting lineups for the Knox Redskins. They are away today in all white. Starting at tight end on the offensive end, Alex Wakal. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly at number 14. The offensive tackle, Isaiah Jones, number 79. Offensive guard, Landon Howard, number 71. Center, Keaton Fost, number 57. Offensive guard, Brandon Manuel, number 61. Offensive tackle, James McNeil, number 73. Tight end, Eric Griffo, number 87. The QB, Cohen Watson, the sophomore I talked about a second ago, number 12. Oh, I'm sorry. No. The senior, Cohen Watson, number 12. That's for Winamac. This is for Knox. My apologies. And then the running back, Jake Conroy at number 5. Running back, Xavier Roman, number 20. And Miles McLaughlin, like we talked about. Keep an eye out for him, the running back, number 2. On the defensive side of things, defensive end, Trenton Hardell, number 10. Defensive tackle Hayden Binkley, number 62. Defensive end Caleb Schwant, number 45. Linebacker Logan Taylor, number 24. Linebacker Caden Reisner, number 21. And linebacker Bryce Yankaukas, number 42. And that is the starting lineups for the Knox football starters. Looking at Winamac now for on the offensive side of the ball, the wide receiver, Jace Bentley. Running back, Jaden Jones, who we've heard quite a bit about. Left tackle, Aiden Jimenez. Left guard, Max Keller. Center, Charlie Dissinger. That's the freshman we were talking about. Wyatt Wheeler, the right guard. The right tackle, Eli Matthews. Michael Lamer, the running back. Wide receiver, Talon Braun. And running back, Maddox Gusinski. And the quarterback, sophomore, Cash Roth. What a name. Cash Roth for a QB, Dabby. That just sounds like a QB.
Just sounds like money, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like money. Cash Roth. I saw him on the sidelines last night at their practice. They looked really great together, him and the freshman. So they might produce really good minutes tonight. On the defensive side of the ball for Winamac, Wyatt Wheeler is the defensive end. Max Keller's the defensive tackle. Josh Hagen's the defensive tackle. Zane Bell, who we've heard quite a bit about, the defensive end. Gavin Taylor, the linebacker. Talon Garner, the linebacker. Tucker Fox, another linebacker. Center, Talon Braun, another center. Jace Bentley, Michael Lamer, and Max Gearhart. That is the defensive starters for the Winamac Warriors. Well, we are 8 minutes and 30 seconds away from kickoff to the 2022 Indiana High School football season here in Winamac, Indiana. Chris, before we send it away for one final break and bring it back, what are your final thoughts before we get underway?
Oh, it's the most exciting time of the year, other than basketball season.
Well, of course you'd say that.
But again, yeah, the atmosphere, to be back, high school football, just Friday nights, it's a special time. Former head coach, I've been a long-time assistant coach at this sport, and just it's just something that's true to my heart and really close to me. So to be able to do this and to be able to take part in such a great time and a great atmosphere, it means a lot. And these kids, to go through what they go through, to be able to shine on a Friday night, is just huge. So hopefully both teams come out healthy, and just one of those deals, man, where it's just a great time to be part of it.
We're going to take a quick break while they do the national anthem. We'll be right back. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
For that major cleanup or building project at your house or business, Lap Waste of Monterey offers dumpster rental and trash removal with efficiency and reasonable pricing. Lap Waste provides you with a dumpster rental to meet all your practical needs. Your trash removal needs may include things like refrigerator disposal, construction or yard waste removal, whatever the need. Call Lap Waste at 574-542-4019 or book online. For your trash removal needs, there's no waste with Lap Waste.
What's good about Dairy Queen? Dilly bars, DQ cakes, blizzards, and the $5 buck lunch. Stop in for the $5 buck lunch with an entree, fresh hot fries, your choice of an ice-cold Coca-Cola product, and a soft-serve sundae flavor of your choice. Available every day from 11 to 4. Have a $5 buck lunch exclusively at Dairy Queen. Proud to support high school sports on US 35 Monticello Street in Winamac. Find out what's good about Dairy Queen.
Coke knows there's nothing better than the beat of the summer. The beat begins in a simple and mellow place, from low-key to hyped up. So we're helping you and your friends drink it all in with 100 days of the artist's experiences, tracks, and concerts with the best names in music, all at Coke Studio. Drink, scan, and enjoy your Coke, so you never miss out on all the amazing offers we're dropping this summer.
BP gasoline with Invigorate helps clean your engine and can give you more miles per tank. Continuous use may result in the following pleasant side effects: excessive smiling, feeling more relaxed, taking more drives just because, volunteering for carpool twice in a row, and bragging to your friends about how you use our best fuel ever. To find out if BP gasoline with Invigorate is right for you, stop by your local station to discover our best fuel ever. Versus minimum detergent gas. Average restore 3 to 5 miles per tank, based on fleet testing and based on what you drive and how you drive.
High school sports brought to you by Zingo Express.
And we welcome you back here to Roudabush Field in Winamac, Indiana, where the Winamac Warriors are hosting the Knox Redskins. The national anthem just played, and we are getting ready for kickoff. Chris, as we're trying to get with Nathan. Nathan, can you hear me on the other side?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear over here as the sun continues to blind me a little bit, but that's expected here on week one. And I got to tell you once again, conditions down here on the field, you couldn't ask for a more ideal setting with the sun going down, a very cloudless sky, and a perfectly manicured field. This is going to be a fun night of week one high school football here in the Kankakee Valley.
All I know is, Nathan, I was walking on the field earlier before the game, and I was sitting there and I'm looking down and I'm like, where was this field at back when I was in high school, back in the early 90s, because this was like playing on asphalt back in the day. So, a lot better field conditions, that's for sure.
And that didn't change much in the early 2000s back when I played either. And I can tell you, because we got pummeled on this field a couple of times when I was in high school. But I'll tell you the other thing, Coach McGowan, and you know this very well, I feel that these are ideal passing conditions for tonight. So I look forward to seeing an aerial attack from both the Warriors as well as the Redskins tonight.
Well, they don't call you throw the ball welter for nothing.
I try to earn that game every fall.
Yep, Nathan, throw the ball welter. There you go. I'm a more of a defensive guy. I want to see a 3-0, 7-3, 10-7 type of game.
You want to see a dogfight.
Yeah, Nathan wants to see basketball on grass. He wants to see 64-52, something like that.
Well, that makes sense. He was a wide receiver for Knox.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely, and that makes sense. He was a wide receiver for Knox, so of course he would want to score as many points as possible. Now, when you were playing, what position did you play?
Now,
what do you got there, Nate?
Hey, here's the thing. With football, I'd like to see the points on the scoreboard, but for the basketball coach up there in the press box alongside me, I'm all about defense during the winter. It's what about the gridiron. I want to see that scoreboard lighting up.
Hey, I'm all about defense 24/7, 365.
Hey, they always say
that's
defense.
Why we don't have very good conversations during the fall.
Oh, we have great conversations. I just tell you how I'd stop you all the time.
Boy, I tell you what, I'm already having fun, guys. This is going to be a great season. I am so glad you guys joined me tonight because this is going to be so much fun.
But back to answer your question, when I played, I was running back, and I played defensive back, outside linebacker.
Outside linebacker. That's one of my favorite positions to watch on defense. Well, our officials this evening are Casey Hall, Joseph Hobaugh, John Miller, Nick Sommer, and Alex Yagi. Our in-game PA announcer here at Winamac is Chad Watts. Our in-game producer back at KVB headquarters is Chris DeGard. We appreciate her service this evening. We also appreciate our general manager, Lenny Dessauer. Thank you, Lenny, for giving me this opportunity. What an amazing night it has been so far. And other than the coach's corner, I'm feeling pretty confident about this tonight.
Yeah, so you got the nerves worked out? Feeling pretty good now?
Well, I told you I practiced the first whole pregame show for about 3.5 weeks. So since mid-July, I've had this down. Here's where it's going to get tricky, though. When the game starts, that's when I'm going to have a little bit of tough time. I'm going to be leaning on you and Nathan tonight, that's for sure.
I'm sure you'll get it down and be a piece of cake, just like riding a bike.
We want to remind you today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola. Buy, drink, smile, Coke. All right, the Knox Redskins are out on the field. One last chat with Russ Radke, the Winamac Warriors, standing by. Headsets are on. They're working. Cheer squads both for Winamac and Knox on hand. The crowd, honestly, looks very good, and Knox looks very strong on the other side. They've even got their cheer block. It looks like they're dressed in some sort of construction garb. I don't even know what's going on.
Right. Usually they come up with a theme for the cheer block, and Knox's cheer block theme is construction tonight. So, again, one other thing that we forgot to talk about in that pregame show, we talk about keys to the game. With it being the first game of the year, whichever coaching staff can make those adjustments at the right time, could prove key to tonight's victory as well. And you've got all that experience on the Knox side. Josh Burgess is in his first year as a head coach.
I was about to say so.
But he's been a long-time assistant coach, and he's got Mark Hendricks, who's been doing it since
35th season this year.
Yeah, since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. So, again, whichever coaching staff can come up with those in-game adjustments could prove vital tonight.
Well, if you look at the assistant coaches, they've got Mark Hendricks, Brandon Burgess, who is a relation to Josh,
brother.
Parker Fox, and Dalton Button, who Mark Hendricks told me Parker Fox and Dalton Button are attached to the hip. They're just the best of friends. And then Levi Schultz rounds out the assistant coaches for Winamac. It looks like team captains are shaking up right now. I didn't quite see what the call was and who's receiving.
Winamac won the toss and elected to receive. So,
absolutely. Winamac's going to get the ball first, and Knox going to kick first. I watched Knox practice their kickoff yesterday. It depended on which kick it was.
Right.
The second or third kick looked good. The first one in practice was a little tough, so we'll see if they can brush it up, make sure they get a deep ball into the territory they want to get to here. It looks like, let's see here. Boy, this is what I told you. I'm going to have a tough time tonight.
So back for the Warriors, looks like Jaden Jones, number 24, and Maddox Buzinski, number 23, back for the Warriors. Teeing it up for the Redskins here. Number 5, which would be Jake Conroy.
Conroy. Yeah, he was the one yesterday that was practicing kicking. He had a really good kickoff yesterday, so we should see one deep. So here we go. And we are set for the 2022 Indiana High School football season is underway here in Winamac, Indiana, as it goes all the way back to Maddox Buzinski.
Touchback.
And he is touchback. We are going to open things up smart. I'd say that was a smart move on their part.
Yeah, the kick, he actually fielded that inside the 5, and the momentum carried him into the end zone. So in Indiana high school football, you're not allowed to bring that out if the momentum carries you into the end zone like that. So Winamac will get the ball here on the 20-yard line. Let's see where they're going to have it slot the ball in the middle of the field. So here we go. Winamac going to move left to right on the radio dial.
Yes, thank you. All right, starting on the 20-yard line. Takes the hike. Oh,
reverse pass.
Reverse. Oh. He had him running up the sideline, number 24, Jaden Jones.
Yeah, well, Winamac coming out and running a little reverse pass there, and actually had Jaden Jones open, but just overthrew him a little bit. Again, nice setup there, and luckily for Knox, that was overthrown because he's scoring if he catches that.
Going right out from the gate, Josh Burgess doesn't want to waste time. So here we are.
Yeah, Winamac in a double split, double slot set, shotgun, single back.
Roth takes the snap, hands off to Jones, and he gets about maybe 4 on the carry.
Yeah, good run there by Jaden Jones. Just a little speed option by the Winamac Warriors in that shotgun formation.
Let's check it with Nathan. Nathan, what do you see down there so far?
Well, guys, very high energy over here on the Knox side of things. And I'll tell you what, the Winamac Warriors, not surprising to see them come out with a little bit of trickery in the game. With a reverse pass attempt, great job on the Redskin defense and discipline.
And Winamac going trips left here, wide trips to the wide side of the field.
Rob takes the snap, looks left, finds Jace Bentley, and he's got a little bit of room here. He might have the first down.
There's a penalty flag on the play, though. It looks like Winamac might have got caught blocking downfield before the ball was in the air. So this play might be coming back.
Well, we'll wait to see. It looks like a little bit of a conference call in the center of the field here. Knox is clapping. They seem to think they've heard.
An ineligible man downfield, it looks like. So if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be a 5-yard walk-off from the previous spot. So it'll be third and about 11 now for the Warriors.
3rd and 11 on the 24. 11 minutes to go.
And Winamac back in that double split, double slot set. Quarterback under center now, single back.
Takes the snap under center. Roth looking. Finds one deep over the top. He's got it.
Caught. Jaden Jones there on the reception. Knox looks like they're going a little man-to-man there, Nate. That's what it looked like to me from up here in the box. What are you seeing down there?
Yeah, man-to-man coverage there all the way, and that was just great concentration on that catch because the defender was right where he needed to be. Just couldn't get a fingertip on that ball. Outstanding play by that wide receiver.
All right, that moves him up to 1st and 10 on the 47 with about 10 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the first. I am Mitch Columbia along with Chris McGowan and Nathan Welter down on the sidelines. We are so happy to be here for you. Takes the snap. Roth hands over. Oh! Had a nice pitch out to Jaden Jones, but Knox stuffed him.
Yeah, Logan Taylor there. Great play at the defensive end spot for the Knox Redskins. As soon as Jaden Jones got his hands on that ball, he was right there to make him feel that. He definitely arrived with bad intentions, that's for sure.
That was definitely a serious hit. He flattened him. What a good hit.
And Chris, that is some great discipline on the part of the Redskin defense after getting burned on a deep pass play right there. They didn't fall for any kind of trick plays or anything on that one. They just stayed disciplined.
All right, here we go. Takes the snap. Roth hands off. Looks like Michael Lamer gets maybe a couple of yards, if that.
Yeah, very good discipline play there, too, by the Knox Redskins. That was Caden Reisner staying home on that counter play. That's usually something Winamac likes to run. That's a big hitter for them. And usually the first time they run that in the game, it does go for big yardage there. But Reisner doing a great job staying at home in that linebacker spot and making that play, only allowing Winamac to pick up 2 yards there on second down. So that brings up 3rd and 1.
And that wingback counter has been a staple, big play for the Warriors for a long time. Great job by the Redskin defense.
All right, 3rd and 15. Roth in shotgun, takes the snap, looks, finds.
Got him.
Michael Lamer.
Oh, they're going to call that incomplete. It looks like, looked to me like he had it until he hit the ground, and then it bounced out when it hit the ground. So
I was in good position to see that. He had the ball in his hand momentarily, but as he was coming to the ground, it came loose a little bit. Once he hit the ground, it popped down. So great job by the officials there, being right on top of that call.
And here we go. First special teams play. Well, second special teams play of the night. We had the opening kickoff, which Knox handled well. So here we go.
Looks like they're going for it on 4th and 15 here.
Nah, they're punting.
And a flag is thrown on the play.
Yeah, false start.
Boy, that was an interesting formation.
Yeah, rugby punt.
I had never seen that before.
Oh, offsides on the defense.
Well, one thing you know about the Winamac Warriors, because they're special teams, you can never be 100% sure what they're going to be doing because they line up in a formation, and a lot of times they treat that just like a shotgun formation and run a regular offensive play. So you never really know when you line up the punt what exactly they're going to do.
He's throwing me off, that's for sure. All right, we can assume this is going to be a punt. Oh! Blocked. Catches it after it. Wow.
Yeah, the wingback actually got blocked into the punter there and came down and Cash Roth just caught the punt and then tried to get as much as he could out of it. So again, the very first big special teams play for the Knox Redskins going their way.
Well, and I can tell you what, that's the play that was made in the weight room during the offseason because the front line of the Knox Redskins just pushed back the line of the Winamac Warriors and got them into the way of that punt.
1st and 10 for the Knox Redskins. They are on the 46. 44 is what the scoreboard says. 8:40 to go here in the first. First possession for Knox, hands off to Conroy, gets up to the right side, he's got 5, got 10, he's going all the way to the 30, going to the 20, the 10, the 5, touchdown on the first play for the Knox Redskins. Conroy, what a heck of a play that was. Jake Conroy First play of the season, he gets a TD.
44 yards out. Looks like Knox went a little unbalanced to the right side, to the field side, and just had a backside guard pull, got out in front, and Conroy with that speed, you got to keep him in front of you or he's going to take it to the house. He's a threat to take it to the house anytime he touches it, and 44 yards later, Knox is on the board.
Well, we had a chance to talk.
Guys, that was just a great job. That was just a great job on the right side of the Knox offensive line, sealing the edge. And again, being very, very physical. The Winamac Warriors have not really responded to the physicality of the Redskins up front yet. And Knox is certainly taking advantage here early in the ballgame.
And Knox is going to go for 2.
Looks like they're going for 2. Russ Radke trying to send a message early here at Rowdobush Field. Takes the snap. He carries it himself, and it's an easy right up the middle touchdown for number 12, Cohen Watson, the senior QB.
Yeah, wow. 2 plays, 8 points. You got to like it for the Redskins. It's pretty good percentage there.
Well, for as long as Winamac had the ball, Knox didn't have it even half the time Winamac did. So Winamac's going to have to seriously talk to the defense. You can see Josh Burgess telling his defense right now, hey, that's just one possession that they had for Knox. Let's get things back together and get on the field and make things happen.
Well, I can tell you this much, guys. Down here on my sidelines, this fan base is very rowdy. The players are very energetic as well. And going back to what we talked about the pregame show, the student section here in their construction gear with hard hats. They got those brightly colored vests on. The student section is here to work as well. So Redskins really, the Redskin fan base really behind their Redskins here in opening week.
And what a way to start the season there. Your first offensive play, you take it to the house.
I think Radke definitely wanted that to happen.
Yeah, I think if you'd have told him before the game that's what was going to happen, he said, I'll take it.
Well, and I found it interesting, too. He was telling me yesterday to keep an eye on for McLaughlin, and then the first plays Conroy right up the right for a touchdown. So a little maybe deception on his end, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, a little coaching ploy there.
No, Mitch, I think you just mispronounced Conroy. You accidentally said McLaughlin.
That's exactly right. All right, here's Knox getting ready to kick off to Winamac for the second time so far this evening, as it is 8-0. Knox kicks off. Winamac receives it. He's going up the left side. He's at the 40. It goes out about the 41-42. That was number 5, Michael Lamer.
Yeah, the running back, the senior. 5'11", 170-pound running back.
I've said his name at least 3 times already this evening.
Yeah, did a good job sticking his foot in the ground. Had a middle wedge return, but Knox kind of blew that up, and he put his foot in the ground and cut it back to the left and was able to pick up 15 extra yards. So Winamac, good starting field position here at the 42.
Well, and I'll say this, Brody Wall, number 8, will get sticker tomorrow morning when they're watching film. He had a huge pancake block on that return.
Absolutely, and here comes Winamac. They are on the 42, takes the snap. Roth looks over to the right side. He had, wide open to the 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5. Touchdown! Maddox Buzinski wide open.
Yeah, snuck him out of the backfield there, and Knox playing that man-to-man defense. Somebody didn't pick up the number 2 receiver, so lack of communication defensively there for the Redskins. And that play right there gets Winamac right back into this football game.
Boy, this is exciting. Just in a matter of minutes, 2 touchdowns happen. And are they going for 2, it looks like?
Nah, they're set up to kick the PAT, but such a big play here, such a quick score that they're not ready. They're looking for the kicking block.
All right, let's see what happens. Coming up on the 8-minute mark here in the first quarter for the extra point, Winamac. That's number 22 kicking for Winamac.
And a bad snap, and it gets stopped by the Redskins. So the Redskins maintain that 2-point lead
So, again, right there, special teams, that 2-point conversion that Knox was able to convert and Winamac not being able to kick the extra point could play huge here at the end of this football game.
Well, just a matter of 2 points. We want to remind you this broadcast is brought to you in part by Pulaski Memorial Hospital, serving lives of the residents of Pulaski County and the surrounding areas since 1963. We're going to take a quick break here at Raudebusch Field. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
On the way home from the game, a deer jumps in front of your truck. And now you've got to get that truck repaired. Make it easy on yourself. Take it to Mark's Body Shop. Mark's has done expert auto body service since 1998 and will work with you and your insurance provider for collision repair, custom body paint, and insurance work. And all work guaranteed by owner Mark Shell. Mark's Body Shop, trying to support high school sports. 772-7003.
And welcome back here to Raudebusch Field as it's 6-8. Knox in the lead. Coming up on the 8-minute mark to go. Knox is going to be kicking, or Winamac, is going to be kicking off to Knox. We want to remind you, Winamac is in all burgundy jerseys, white trousers, and then the Knox Redskins, all white with their beautiful red helmets. Everything has been freshened up, I'd say. The jerseys look clean. I don't know how long that'll last, though.
And deep for the Redskins.
Well, and both teams have Roll Tribe on the back of their jerseys.
I noticed that.
Well, can you tell Hendricks hasn't been here?
No, absolutely. I noticed that. Both jerseys say Roll Tribe on them. And the kick is up and away.
And it's taken by the McLaughlin kid. And
oh my goodness. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's at the 20. He's going to take this all the way to the house. A reception touchdown for...
Yeah, kickoff return. Miles McLaughlin there. We talked about him in the pregame show. Yep. Be watching for him, and there he is.
Boy, it really throws me for a loop.
And
because
I'll tell you what.
No, I was just going to say...
before you get to that, Mitch, it was a great job by the kick team, by the kick return team of opening up that hole for Miles McLaughlin. And I'll tell you what, I have not seen many high schoolers look as smooth running back on a 90-yard touchdown, kickoff return for a touchdown. He didn't even look like he was trying. It was that effortless. Great job by the return team of opening up that hole for Miles McLaughlin.
I'd almost say him and Conroy have been working together. They darn near looked like the same runner out there.
Right. And Knox, again, going to line up for two here. So, a stop here by Winamac and keeps it a one-possession game.
Knox going for two again. Hands off to Conroy, up the middle. And he's in. He scores the 2-point conversion. It's going to take it to 16-6, a 10-point lead by the Knox Redskins. And Josh Burgess not very happy right now.
Yeah, you do. You call the right play on offense. You get yourself back into the game. Now you don't get the extra point, but it's 8-6. Feeling pretty good. And then, again, special teams, special teams, special teams. All it takes is for one guy to get out of his lane on that kickoff coverage team, and a kid like McLaughlin is going to make you pay.
Nathan, if you're Josh Burgess, what are you telling your team right now?
Well, you're telling them, guys, we need to take breath. Remember, we're at home. It's still the first quarter. We're not even halfway through it yet. Yeah, 10 points looks pretty big on the scoreboard, but we can't panic. When we get the ball back, we need to make sure we're staying disciplined on offense. Don't try and do too much. You can't score 10 points on one play. So right now, you're Coach Burgess and the Winamac coaching staff. You're telling your kids, relax, let's stick with our game plan. We know what we're able to do. Let's start doing it right now.
Well, I feel like we've seen a lot of special teams today in terms of kicking and returning. And Russ Radke said that yesterday. He said it's going to be a special teams type of game. And that's what he said to me.
Well, we came to watch a football game, and all of a sudden, about halfway through the first quarter, 4 minutes into the first quarter, and a track meet has broke out.
Just right up Nathan's alley.
Hey, this is the way football was meant to be played, fellas.
All right, Knox is kicking off. That's Conroy who kicked off, and it looks like Winamac's returning. That looks like
Jaden Jones.
Jaden Jones up the right side. He gets to the 30, now to the 38, and he's out of bounds. Knocked out by the kicker, Conroy. Boy, he really is all over the place today.
Yeah, usually you don't see that. Usually the kicker's the safety, but
looked like a Pat McAfee type of job there.
Now you're definitely getting into Nate's wheelhouse, the big Colts fan that he is.
Oh, we could talk Colts all night. All right, let's see. Where's the ball spot? The 38. 1st and 10, just under 8 minutes. There's been a lot of scoring so far.
Yeah, first quarter's taken for forever.
All right. Here we go. Under center, the sophomore, Cash Roth. Sets in motion, takes the snap, and flags on the play.
And again, Jaden Jones there not being able to sit in his stance long enough. Started to roll forward a little bit. And so it's going to be a false start there on the Warriors, so a 5-yard penalty. So that makes it 1st and 15 now.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Marian University's Ancilla College. If you are looking for a place to continue your education, visit marian.edu/Ancilla. All right, 1 and 15. 1st and 15, ball on the 33. Roth takes the snap, hands off, and he gets about 3, maybe 4 on the carry.
Yeah, and that's for 23 there for the Warriors, Maddox Buzinski.
Yep, Buzinski.
The junior, he looks like a strong inside runner there. Not very big, but not afraid to mix it up there in between the tackles for the Warriors. So Winamac now facing 2nd and 11 here. So again, you're looking just to give yourself a chance to convert the 3rd down play. So pick up about half of it here on 2nd down and give yourself a chance to pick it up on 3rd down. So twins to the left, slot here to the right for the Warriors. Shotgun formation, single back set.
And he just overthrew Jaden Jones. So he's looking a lot. I'll tell you, Cash Roth is looking at Maddox Buzinski and Jaden Jones a lot early on here.
And again, just a flood route there by the Winamac Warriors, and Jaden Jones there out of the backfield, running just a quick out. And again, Cash Jones just overthrew him. So again, now Winamac putting themselves in a 3rd and long situation, and defensively, this is the money down for the Redskins. You want to get off the field.
3rd and 11, ball on the 37, 7:03 to go in the 1st. Roth takes the snap, looking to his left, looking back to the right. He finds Jones, and he has the 1st down. He's still fighting. Helmets come off, and he is acknowledging he got the 1st down. He's very proud of that play. Jaden Jones, what a heck of a play that was.
Good pickup there by the Warriors there on 3rd and 11. Again, just Jaden Jones in that flat area and made a great play, great catch, great throw. Great effort there at the end to pick up 3 or 4 extra yards. His helmet came off, so Jaden Jones is going to have to come off the field for one play before he can come back in because his helmet came off.
And if you are missing your keys, you may pick them up to identify.
All right, 1st and 10 on the 47. Cash Roth, what a name. And flags again as he sets him in motion.
And, Winamac again with a false start. That was Jace Bentel, the junior wide receiver, again, tried to roll into that start there before the snap. So, again, Winamac shooting themselves in the foot with these penalties.
They add up very quickly, don't they, Nate?
Moment ago.
Roth takes the snap and another flag on the play.
Again, false start there by the Warriors, so now it's going to be first and 20.
Well, guys, there's just a real difference, I think, in the demeanor of both of these teams. And again, we still have 5:44 to go here in the 1st quarter, but the Redskins just seem to be carrying themselves with a lot more confidence out there than the Winamac Warriors are at this point early in the game.
Yeah, right now the Winamac is 1 step forward, 2 steps back with these false start penalties. And here's the counter, wing-back counter. And again, Knox doing a great job of staying at home. And for the Redskins there, that was Alex Wackel, the senior defensive end, making the play, staying at home. So again, Knox very disciplined defensively, defending that wing-back counter. So
Alex Wackel, you mentioned, Chris, that was a great job of him being disciplined, and he got up. He was fired up. He wanted to make sure everyone knew he just made a good play. Great job there by number 14.
Warriors here trips to the right. Single back shotgun set, and going to run a pitch play here where the Warriors does a good job of breaking that tackle. Did a great job of breaking that first tackle. I think if he may have stayed on the path that he was going there to the left, he cut it back all the way to the left, but gave up on that route. And that was Brody Wall, the sophomore, again. And Knox doing a very good job of flying to the football. We have a timeout on the field here for the Warriors. And let's take a 60-second timeout here, and we'll come back to Rowderbush Field.
You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
When you grow up on the land you have an appreciation for, you grow up and work on a family farm on land that is shared by members of the family, all working together as a team, that appreciation grows even more. They know what it's like to work as a team to get the job done. At Lawrence Farms, Knox, Todd and Josh Lawrence and family success all through the season.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, we've been serving family farms for over 130 years. We've seen our customers succeed in good times, pull through in tough times, and we've learned some lessons along the way. So we appreciate the customers we have today by finding the solutions they'll be looking for tomorrow. Are you ready to talk about your farm operation? Stop by a branch or visit us online at ffbg.com.
Watching for trickeration here.
Equal opportunity lender. Member
From
FDIC.
Hendricks? No.
And we're back to Rowderbush Field here in Winamac, Indiana, as the Knox Redskins lead the Winamac Warriors 16-6. And in the break, Nathan said, let's watch a little bit of trickeration plays going on here. Nate, what do you think's going on?
Well, 3rd and 27 here for the Winamac Warriors, down 16-6. Still a lot of time left to go. 4:28 left here in the first quarter, but this is a good spot. You're near midfield. This is a good time to maybe take a shot, get some more momentum back on your sideline here before the first quarter comes to an end. So maybe a reverse, a double pass, something along those lines here.
All right, 3rd and 27, ball on the 37, 4:28 to go in the first. And the sophomore takes the snap. He's looking left. He finds one deep. And it's, intercepted on the far sideline near Nate. He had a good look at it.
Yeah, that was just a great job there. I think that was Jordan on the interception. He read that perfectly. And what's even more impressive was the job he did keeping a foot down before his momentum carried him out of bounds. He was able to secure the catch and get that one toe down. And just a great display of athleticism there on his part.
And with it being 3rd and 27 for Winamac, that was just like a punt.
Makes the most sense.
So, yeah, if that gets picked off, okay, now we don't have to line up and try to kick it like we did the last time. So, again, now Winamac here has got to settle down defensively. The first time Knox had the ball, they went 44 yards untouched for a touchdown.
They need to stop right here. Ball on the 40. They take the snap, hands off to Conroy up the middle, and he's got a lot of room. He gains about 13, maybe 14 yards.
And actually, that's McLaughlin, number 2, on the handoff.
Oh, McLaughlin, excuse me.
Yeah, in the backfield. Conroy still on the sideline over there getting a breather.
I mean, they look the exact same almost. When they run the same way.
Yeah, same low pad level and lean forward. So
great patience there on that run.
So now again, Knox going unbalanced to their side of the field. It's like bunch trips there to the top of the formation.
Tight trips.
Takes the snap off to the right. That was Conroy, and he may have gotten 2 or 3 on the play. Cohen Watson, I think, handed him the ball off. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Nepco Crane and Equipment Services. Specializing in mobile crane service, call Joe Nepp at 1-800-590-2000. 2272 for all your residential, commercial, and agricultural crane needs.
That was actually Xavier Roman on the carry there, number 20 for the Redskins. I tell you what, Knox has carried the ball 3 times. I think 3 different backs have carried the ball.
Here we go, 2nd and 8, ball on the 45. Takes the snap, hands off to McLaughlin again, and he gets up about maybe 6. Oh! Looks like the offensive line did a good job of help pushing him there. He definitely got the first down.
Yeah, pick up about 9 yards there on that carry. Just right up the gut, just power football. Just, hey, we're going to line up and come right at you. Stop us if you can. And right now, Knox has got some momentum here going offensively. Knox spreading the field here now. We got a split here to the left and a slot.
Takes the snap, hands off to Conroy on the left side. He gets about 2.
So again, that was just kind of an unbalanced formation because Knox had the split end and a wing back and a tight end all to this side. So an unbalanced formation to this side of the field. And Winamac doing a good job there setting the edge, only allowing Knox to pick up 2 yards on that first down play.
Cohen Watson, I believe he's listed as 6'1", but boy, when I was standing next to him yesterday, he's a heck of a lot taller than 6'1". I'm 6'1". All right, Cohen Watson takes the snap, hands off to McLaughlin, who's got a lot of space up the right. He's going to score. My gosh. The hole was so wide, Moses was here.
Right. So 33 yards out. Again, big run by the freshman. You know, the one thing, being the coach up here in the box, the one thing I will say, if I had the opportunity to talk to that young man, he kind of led up there about 5 or 6 yards out from the end zone. You sprint through that goal line before you decide to break it down a little bit because, hey, you're going against varsity kids now, and they're going to play to the whistle.
Well, it looks like they're going for...
Well, I think the big thing there on that touchdown, I think Miles did a great job of showing his patience.
Yeah. And again, Knox is in. 2-point conversion makes it 24-6.
They are not interested in kicking any field goals thus far tonight. Russ Radke is making Winamac aware of that. 24-6 with 1:53 to go in the first. And I'll be honest, I didn't see it quite panning out like this early.
Well, I was wondering because, you know, from what I had picked up in coaches I've talked to, that Knox played very well in that scrimmage against Tippecanoe Valley, who finished 9-1 last year, was ranked in 3A, and handled Tippecanoe Valley pretty good. So I was kind of curious to see what Winamac was going to be able, how they were going to be able to answer that. And again, hey, you get a score here and a stop defensively. There's still a ton of football left to be played. We're still in the first quarter.
Oh, absolutely. If Knox can score this many points, Winamac can as well. It's only been one quarter. And, I mean, I really don't know where this game's going to go by the third quarter. I mean, it could either be one way or the other. So another kickoff here for Conroy. He's just doing it all tonight for the Knox Redskins. And back receiving is Jaden Jones and Maddox Buzinski. And we will see who is returning for Winamac right now. Both of them can run very fast and are very explosive. So when the ball is in their hands, you never know what could happen. And Conroy with the kick up high, long, all the way back to about the 15. And that is Maddox Buzinski coming up on the right side. He makes it to the 30. Now gets around, gets a couple of tackles all the way up to the 40. And that Buzinski, he's got the energy.
Tell you what, starting field position for the Warriors has not been a problem here tonight. You know, their worst starting field position was the 20, and that was after the opening kickoff on the touchback. But they've started at the 40, at the 42, at the 39. So again, a great field position. Now you just got to be able to do something with it. You can't keep giving yourself extra, taking yourself back 5 yards with these false start penalties.
Absolutely. Absolutely. The ball spotted on the 40-yard line, 1st and 10, Warriors. Sophomore takes the snap, hands off to Jaden Jones, who gets maybe a yard.
Again, great discipline there by the Redskin defense. That play even had me fooled. I thought it was coming left towards the Redskins sideline, but the Warriors running that play back to the right side of that formation. Redskin defense not nearly as fooled as what I was. Great job there to stay disciplined.
Yeah, it was just a wing-back counter coming this way, and Brandon Manuel from his defensive end position, again, very disciplined, staying at home. Knox doing a very good job of defending that traditional home run hitter, the wing-back counter for the Warriors. And now Winamac lining up in trips left.
Takes the snap. Throws over to the left side. Looks like that's Maddox Buzinski.
Maddox Buzinski cuts it up the middle.
And Winamac doing our...
that looked like
21 Caden Reisner.
That looked like just a regular cross play off to the left side. Redskins doing a great job defensively, setting the edge and not allowing the Warriors to get outside on any of those.
Third down.
Yeah, that's what I was getting ready to say. The defensive ends and the outside linebackers for this Knox Redskin defense doing a very good job of setting that edge. And not only that, it's one thing to set the edge, but you have to know that the interior defense is going to be pursuing out to you. And so far, it's been working great for the Redskins.
Ball on the 40-yard line. Here comes Winamac. The sophomore takes the snap. He's looking right. He's going to pass. He finds him.
Oh, had a man open there.
Talon Braun.
But, again, just overshot him a little bit. So that's, going to put Winamac. Well, that was 3rd and long in another situation. Now it's 4th and 10. So Winamac going to punt, sending out the punting unit here. And the first punt did not go very well. So, again, very, very treacherous time here for the Warriors.
Well, and we didn't get a chance to talk about this earlier, but, last year when they beat Knox, they beat them handedly, 35-14. So, that might be the reason Russ Radke is coming out so harsh right now. So, Winamac set to punt. Looks like McLaughlin and Conroy are in the backfield to receive the punt.
Very short punt. Knox needs to get away from it. Takes a Redskin bounce. So Knox going to be very well positioned here offensively. Going to take over on their 47-yard line. So again, 24-6 here in the at the end of the first quarter. So again, great start if you're a Redskin fan. Winamac has shown some life. But again, the penalties offensively are killing them, and the big plays defensively that Knox has been able to score on. Again, Winamac just needs to calm down, settle down, and I tell you what, let's go ahead and what do you think? Take a 30-second break here and come back?
Well, no, I was about to check in with Nate. I want to see what he's seeing on the sideline real quick. Nate, what are you thinking right now?
Well, I made my way over here to the Winamac sideline, and for the Warriors, they're still maintaining their optimism here. Again, we're just now getting ready to start the second quarter. Yeah, the scoreboard looks a little bit ugly right now, but there's no way that you can get all those points back in one play. So it starts with one good play, and what they're emphasizing now down here from the coaching staff is, guys, focus on this first play. Let's execute well and get the ball rolling that way. See what we can do after that.
Absolutely. We're going to take a quick break, as Chris McGowan noted. We will be right back after these messages. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
BP gasoline with Invigorate helps clean your engine and can give you more miles per tank. Continuous use may result in the following pleasant side effects: excessive smiling, feeling more relaxed, taking more drives just because, volunteering for carpool twice in a row, and bragging to your friends about how you use our best fuel ever. To find out if BP gasoline with Invigorate is right for you, stop by your local station to discover our best fuel ever. Versus minimum detergent gas. Average restored 3 to 5 miles per tank based on fleet testing and based on what you drive and how you drive.
High school sports brought to you by Zingo Express.
And we're back here at Roudabush Field here in Winamac, Indiana. I am Mitch Columbia along with Chris McGowan and Nathan Welter, our special guest down on the sideline, as Knox is on the 47, 1st and 10, takes the snap, hands off up the right, about 5-yard gain. That was number 20.
Xavier Roman. Now, hey, here's a stat from that first quarter, fellas. Time of possession, 9 minutes and 21 seconds to 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Now, you would think with the score being 24-6, that Knox would have the 9 minute 41 second or 21 second time of possession, but no, it's been Winamac.
Unbelievable.
And Knox is up 24-6 and only had the ball for 2.5 minutes.
Ball's directly on the 50-yard line. The senior takes the snap, hands it up the middle, a little fake to Conroy. And he may have got 5 to 6 yards, maybe 4 yards on that.
Actually, they faked that to McLaughlin there. They faked the jet sweep.
That's right.
And hit Conroy with the little trap up inside there. So, again, Knox finding themselves in a position here that they haven't been in very much tonight. Third down, but it's 3rd and short, 3rd and 2. And I guarantee you with the mentality of Russ Radke that he's got 2 downs to pick up these 2 yards.
Oh, absolutely. He sent a message tonight. He doesn't want to play around. He doesn't want to have happen what happened last year 365 days ago. All right, here comes the senior. Cohen Watson takes the snap, and he got hit hard there. That was number 82 on the defense.
Loss of 1 there by Watson.
Zane Bell wrapped him up.
And I tell you what, Winamac brought everybody on that play, on that 3rd and 2. I think they brought 9 of the 11 defenders. So filled every gap plus 1 or 2. So again, Redskins going to go for it here on 4th and 3.
4th and 3 on the 44. 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
Might just trying to draw Winamac offside.
Yep, that's what he was trying to do.
We're going to timeout on the field. Timeout Knox.
Well, timeout on the field. We have a little chance to chat for a second. Chris, it's been a pleasure thus far. I appreciate you letting me join you tonight. I know this is a new beginning for Kankakee Valley Broadcasting, but I couldn't be more happier.
Oh, it's great. Anytime we can stand up here and talk about high school football and high school athletes, it's always a good thing. And, you know, I'd like to take the opportunity, 8 years ago when I got out of coaching football, had this opportunity, and I jumped at it, and I've loved it ever since. So, it's just one of those things that always give back, and I can remember always wanting to listen when I played,
Absolutely.
After the game, getting back and turning on, listening to the post-game wrap-up, but just a great opportunity, and it's just fun to be a part of.
Nate, I know you're not guaranteed for us every week, but we sure do appreciate you being a special guest. Thank you for being here, Nathan Welter.
Well, I can kind of hear you, what you're saying. And I think right now, Chris, special teams becomes a big moment here in this ballgame. I hate to say it. Oh, they're going to go for it.
They did.
And he's short. Winamac gets a stop there defensively, a huge stop. Miles McLaughlin there got wrapped up in the backfield and ended up 2 yards short. So there's that defensive stop that Winamac needed now. If they can do something with this offensively, climb themselves right back into this football game.
Well, and guys, I think right there, that shows the kind of confidence that Russ Radke has in his offensive line. And a great job there by the Winamac defense of stopping the Redskins, who have really been playing more physically than the Warriors have here in this first half. That might be a sign of good things to come for Winamac.
Well, they turned the lights on here in the booth, and I thought God was saying hello to me. All right, Winamac takes the snap, the sophomore. False start, it looks like.
Flag.
Yeah, false start again on the Warriors. Again, keep shooting themselves in the proverbial foot. But, you make a big stop defensively. The last thing you can do in that situation is back yourself up 5 yards. Because right now, let's be honest, offensively, yards are hard to come by so far for the Warriors. Most of their damage has been done through the air, Nate.
And I think Winamac is really going to have to start spreading things out here because this Redskin defensive line especially has really shown their physicality. They're winning that battle between the tackles. So for Winamac, you got to get outside the tackles. I think you've got to start putting the ball up in the air.
Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to the left side. It looks like he was... I think that's Zane Bell. No, Maddox Buzinski, excuse me. Maddox Buzinski.
For no gain there for the Warriors. So, again, 2nd and 15. Winamac keeps finding themselves these long distances here for first down.
And I think Buzinski's a little shaken up right now.
Might have got the wind knocked out and might have landed on that ball. So
no gain on that.
That's what it looked like. Knox just sitting in a base 4-4 defense. So you wonder, maybe 4 verticals here, Nate. Take a chance.
All right, he takes the snap. He's looking left, back right. Oh, sacked.
Brandon Manuel there for the Redskins. Again, wow.
Well, and hey, Chris, I will say this. Give the credit on that sack to the secondary. That's what, in the game of math, you call a coverage sack. As the secondary for the Redskins did a great job of being step for step with all the wide receivers. Quarterback had absolutely nowhere to go with that, and with as physical as his defensive line is, he just ran out of time. So a great job there by the Redskins secondary of preventing any kind of an outlet for that pass.
Well, 30-22 here in the second quarter. Ball on the 33, and the Winamac Warriors need to make something happen soon. The sophomore takes the snap, pitches out to the right side to J.B. Jones, and he didn't get much.
And Manuel again, Johnny on the spot. So Winamac once again, you got that defensive stop, but now you find yourself fourth in eternity for a first down, so they're going to have to punt.
Well, we see Nate walking by in front of us. We appreciate him down there on the sideline getting all the inside information. As, boy, this has been a great first-class broadcast. We're so glad to bring you here on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting.
Tell you what, looks like he was power walking right there. He got that.
He's getting all the information in here.
That and taking some photos there. But, again, Nathan looks like he's back to his wide receiver days.
We thank Patrick Auto Group for supporting local high school sports tonight, located in Knox on US 35. Call 574-772-7272. 7:05 to go. Takes the snap. He punts it away. He gets it far, all the way back to the 30-yard line.
Going to roll down to about the 22 there, so a great punt for the Warriors. Flip that field position, and maybe they can build some momentum defensively here off of that last defensive possession.
Absolutely, and the teams are getting on the field, switching. It's going to be Knox on offense once again. I think if you're Russ Radke, you want to keep your foot on the pedal and keep it going strong. What do you think, Nate?
Yeah, absolutely. I think you got to be very aggressive here because this Winamac team has a lot of athleticism to it, and at any given point, they have a number of guys who can break plays for big yardage and big points. So for the Redskins, you got to keep the pedal to the metal.
All right, ball on the 22, 1st and 10. Knox takes the snap, fakes, handoff. And the senior QB keeps it himself up the middle and got hit a couple of times. That's Cohen Watson.
Yeah, Cohen Watson, just a zone read option there. And did a good job of reading that. The outside linebacker took the running back, so he pulled it, kept it, ran inside the outside linebacker there for 8 yards. So good gain on first down for the Knox Redskins. So Winamac, again, defensively, they got to have a stop here because Knox does get the ball to start the second half.
All right, Knox takes the snap. Cohen hands off to McLaughlin. And he's got all the way to the 40-yard line, I'd say.
Yeah, but that's coming back. That penalty flag thrown in the area of holding, and that's exactly what it is. So that's going to be a 10-yard walk-off from the spot of the foul. So Knox is going to go from 1st and 10 to 2nd and about 12 or 13.
I'd say Winamac's on that play said about time.
Yeah.
About time Knox gets a penalty. Winamac has just been unfortunate this evening by getting a little too many. I'd say just a few too many penalties tonight for Winamac. That's just really been the downfall.
It's actually going to be 2nd and 10 here for the Redskins. Bunch formation. Too tight double wing. Wing back counter. And there goes
my
McLaughlin.
gosh. McLaughlin's gone. He's at the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Second touchdown of the night for Miles McLaughlin. Wow.
78 yards.
78-yard TD run as there's 5 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Knocks up 30-6 Winamac.
There's that wing back counter, Nate, that we've been talking about all night. That Winamac's been a bread and butter for the Warriors, and Knox just give them a taste of their own medicine.
Boy, I just didn't quite see it going down this way, Chris. I just didn't quite see this this happening tonight thus far.
Again, you never know. First game of the year, you never know.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And they are going for 2 again. He hands off to Conroy. And he gets it. He gets it. My goodness. My goodness. Well, that's 32-6. Knox is up. 5:45 to go here in the second quarter. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
On the way home from the game, a deer jumps in front of your truck.
Hey, you guys can hear me. I'm getting like.
And now you've got to get that truck repaired. Make it easy on yourself. Take it to Mark's Body Shop. Mark's has done expert auto body service since 1998. And
Okay, yeah, we'll have to go back to the drawing board and figure this out. I'm sorry.
Body paint
I'm
and
sorry.
insurance work. And all work guaranteed by owner Mark Shell. Mark's Body Shop, proud to support high school sports. 772-7003.
And we're back here at Roudabush Field here in Winamac, Indiana. Mitch Columbia on hand with Chris McGowan and special guest Nathan Welter. So glad to be here to open up the 2022 Indiana high school football season here in Winamac, Indiana. You can go to WKVI.com, follow us on Facebook. We're on Twitter and Instagram as well. We're going to be traveling to area high school football teams for this season. The tradition continues here on WKVI. Well, Chris, the Knox Redskins are getting ready to kick off to the Winamac Warriors. I'd say for at least the 4th or 5th time by now.
Yeah, this is, Knox has looked pretty impressive here offensively, that's for sure. The two-headed monster of Conroy and McLaughlin.
And Conroy's leg. He has quite the leg as a kicker as well, and he is set to kick off to Winamac here. Waiting on the official call, and here comes Conroy. Kick is up and away.
And fair caught.
He might have kicked it a little short on purpose there, trying to keep the ball out of Maddox Buzinski and Jaden Jones' hands.
Yeah, Luke Dickinson there for the Warriors decided to call a fair catch. So Winamac will start at their own 25. Not bad field position, but again, yards are hard to come by here for the Winamac Warriors. I tell you what, as aggressive as this defensive line is being for the Redskins, I kind of wonder if maybe Winamac, if they've got a screen in, might be a good time to run that middle screen. So I tell you what, this Knox Redskin defense is doing a good job of just peeling their ears back and coming after it.
Ooh,
oh, great catch.
Roth threw a pick right to number 9. Let's see, that is Rowan Jordan. Rowan Jordan found the pick. Cash Roth, the sophomore, just didn't quite get enough air underneath it to his wide receiver. And Rowan Jordan, number 9, with a nice pick. His first pick of the season. That's a stat he'll really like to have.
Yeah, nice one-handed catch there. Did a good job of concentrating and bringing it in. And here we go. Knox is again knocking on the door with a chance to really bust this open here in the first half. So they'll take over on the 20-yard line just inside the right hash.
All right, 1st and 10, ball in the 20, 5:30 to go in the second. Knox on their own 20, fake handoff. He's looking left.
Got a man.
And he's got him for the touchdown. Number 24. That is
Logan Taylor.
Logan? Wow.
Logan Taylor there from 20 yards out.
Good catch by him. And Russ Radke said of the 50-some players he has on the team, 43 of them were going to see time on the field. So he isn't a normal starter tonight. He gets on the field, and he gets a TD. Good for him.
Yeah, Knox right there taking advantage of the turnover and, going for the jugular right there after the turnover and taking a shot into the end zone. And nice touch pass there by Colin Watson, and Logan Taylor did what he had to do. Caught it and took about 3 steps and was already in the end zone. So, again, 38-6, and Knox again lining up to go for the 2-point conversion.
That's all they're interested in this evening. Russ Radke just foot on the gas. And he runs it right up the middle. Touchdown by the QB senior, Cohen Watson. He's had a good game today. Well, we're going to take a break here as it is 40-6. I am Mitch Columbia along with Chris McGowan. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
When you grow up on the land, you have an appreciation for it. You grow up and work on a family farm on land that is shared by members of a family, all working together as a team. That appreciation grows even more. They know what it's like to work as a team to get the job done. At Lawrence Farms of Knox, Todd and Josh Lawrence and family support the local high school teams and wish them success all through the season.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, we've been serving family farms for over 130 years. We've seen our customers succeed in good times, pull through tough times. We've learned some lessons along the way. So we appreciate the customers we have today by finding the solutions they'll be looking for tomorrow. Are you ready to talk about your farm operation? Stop by a branch or visit us online at ffbt.com. First Farmers Bank and Trust, Equal Opportunity Lender, member FDIC.
And we welcome you back here to Rowdebush Field here in Winamac, Indiana, as Conroy for the Knox Redskins is set to kick off to the Winamac Warriors yet again, 40-6, and here comes the kick. Buzinski catches the kick. He's running it back all the way to the 37-yard line.
Well, we got this little bit of a break here. I have a score update from North Judson. Late in the first half, North Judson 14, Culver 6. That game a lot closer than a lot of people thought that was going to go. So,
well, just like you said, first game of the season, you never know what could happen. You never know what could go down in these games.
All right, so Winamac here. The last thing you want to do here is give Knox another opportunity to put points on the board here before halftime. So again, you'd like to mount about a 3 or 4 minute drive here and put some points on the board.
All right. Cashrell takes the snap, hands off. Looks like it was to Buzinski again, and he gets maybe 2 to 3 yards.
And again, I mean, we're on the verge of Knox making this a running clock. So, if you're Winamac, you got. Let's see what kind of pride you have here to prevent that from happening. But yeah, finally on first down, Winamac gets some positive yardage. So, double split, double slot here for the Warriors.
All right, Cashrell takes the snap, hands off to Buzinski yet again.
Just a little inside trap play there. I have another score update in the second quarter. The Triton Trojans up 35-0 against South Central.
Well, and Buzz Schoaf in that season preview opener this past Monday, he said it's going to be a trying year for his South Central Satellites, and he knew that he was going to have to plug guys in all over the place just to fill the roster out. That's unfortunate right now for Buzz.
Well, Triton had a lot returning from last year's team, so can't say I'm very surprised by that score. Jet sweep, ball's on the ground. Jaden Jones picks it up and comes back this way, makes a guy miss, breaks contain, and going to get a first down. Xavier Roman there saves the touchdown, but busted play there. Actually, Jaden Jones actually looked like he had some running room the way the play was designed to go there to the right, a little jet sweep, but the ball slipped out, and he ended up going and picking it up about 8 yards deep, and his speed was able to get him around the outside to the left and pick up a first down for the Warriors.
Making lemonade out of lemons right there, Coach McCall. That was a heck of a show of athleticism on that play.
Double split, double slot here for the Warriors. Cash Roth under center.
Takes the snap, fake, hands up, back. I don't even know what happened there, Chris. That was tricked me out.
Just another version of the wingback counter, but now they handed it off. They handed it off to Jaden Jones, the one wingback, who then handed it off to the other wingback coming back the other way. So, again, Winamac starting to get some momentum here offensively, showing some life. Down 40-6 here with 3 minutes, 24 seconds in the first half.
Ball on the 27. Winamac's own 27. 1st and 10, 3:24 to go in the first. See if they can get a good possession together here. Cash Roth takes the snap, hands off to Buzinski.
And that trap there went nowhere for the Warriors. Good job there in that interior defense for the Redskins. Let's see here. Let's give some credit there. That was Trustin Kuchel there, defensive tackle, and number 62, Hayden Binkley, doing a good job of plugging up that middle on that trap. So 2nd and 10 here for the Warriors.
The sophomore, Cash Roth, still can't get over that is such a good QB name. Takes the snap. Now he's looking to throw off to his left side. He finds Buzinski, and it's been Buzinski's drive thus far.
Yeah, so short gain there for about 3 yards. So it's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Warriors. And the way this first half is going, if you're Winamac, you're in 4-down territory. So you got 2 downs here to pick up these 7 yards. But Winamac finding some success in that balanced formation. What we used to call the ace formation, double split, double slot. Single back set.
All right, 3rd and 7, ball on Winamac's own 25. They've got the ball, and they're on the way to hopefully score. They need 7 here. Takes the snap, hands off, back, and a flag is on the play.
Call hold there. That play's coming back. Got a holding.
That was Jaden Jones who took it to the house, but unfortunately a flag was on the play.
Yeah, Winamac there, the pulling guard, Max Keller, got his hands outside the shoulder pads there on Brandon Manuel, and that's going to get called every single time.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Howard's Marathon of Winamac, serving Pulaski County for 43 years. Call 574-946-6894 and ask for Howard. We thank them for supporting local high school sports.
So again, what Winamac's done all night to get some momentum going, and then penalties have killed and stalled drives all night long.
So 3rd and 7, ball on their 3rd and 17, ball on their 26. Roth takes the snap. He steps back to the 45. He finds number 8.
Oh, good job making people miss. And so now going to give yourself an opportunity here,
Brody Wall,
to pick it up on 4th down. So you give yourself about a 4th and 2, 4th and 3. Nice play call there by the Warriors. Brody Wall just coming across the field underneath all that, just a little drag route, and did a good job once he caught it, making some people miss to give the Warriors a chance to pick it up on 4th down. And we have a timeout here.
We've got a timeout while we can. We'll thank Farm Fertilizer for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Call Farm Fertilizers at 574-867-2441. That's Farm Fertilizer, helping to move the bar on yield and crop investment returns. We're going to take a break here on the field from Raudebusch Field. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
We've seen our customers succeed good times, pull through in tough times, and we've learned some lessons along the way. So we appreciate the customers we have today by finding the solutions they'll be looking for tomorrow. Are you ready to talk about your farm operation? Stop by a branch or visit us online at ffbt.com. First Farmers Bank and Trust. Equal Opportunity Lender. Member FDIC.
Welcome back here from Raudebusch Field, Winamac, Indiana, 40-6. Knox is leading. I am Mitch Columbia along with Chris McGowan and special guest Nathan Welter down on the sideline. We thank you for being here, Nathan. As Winamac has a little bit of an opportunity, 4th and 2. They should go for it, and they are. They are. Cash Roth is out there.
Down 2 yards to go as a return.
And this hasn't been Winamac's bread and butter here tonight. Short yardage situations on the ground. Struggling moving the ball on the ground. They've had all their success through the air. So double split, double slot set here.
Roth under center. Sets him in motion.
Jet sweep.
Hands off.
Can he get to the outside? Can he get to the corner?
I don't think he got it.
Does not get it.
It's going to be a turnover on downs, unfortunately. Knox, Redskin football.
Good job by the Knox defense of stringing that out and allowing the pursuit from the backside to get there. So again, turnover on downs. And right now, if you're Winamac, you cannot let Knox put any more points on the board, or you're looking at a running clock the second half.
Well, it doesn't matter what team you're rooting for in this situation. You just want to see the team that's down keep it within, so it's a close game. And you know, on that play, I was really pulling for Winamac there. That's unfortunate they couldn't get it done.
So the Redskins going to take over ball just inside the right hash on their own 20-yard line. Their worst starting field position of the night.
And here comes QB Cohen Watson, the senior. Hands off to McLaughlin. He's up the right side. Ooh, that didn't look good on his left leg there as he's tackled. That right there is why I wasn't sure about playing football. I was a basketball player. He's shook it off, though. He's walking just fine.
Yeah, so 2nd and 5. Pick up 5 yards there for the Redskins. And again, that was that X-over formation where the split end is covering up the tight end. The tight end's ineligible in that formation.
Just past the 2-minute mark here in the first half to go. Takes the snap, flicks it out to the left side. That's Conroy. And it's been McLaughlin and Conroy all night.
Yeah, first down there, pick up of about 7 yards for Conroy. So, minute 49 left here in the first half, and Knox going no huddle.
First down for the Redskins.
Nate, what do you think?
32-yard line.
Well, I think the Redskins are definitely going to try and get another one in here before the half, going with the hurry-up offense.
A bunch of trips, and here we go.
Cohen throws it down the middle of the field. No one's there. Might have been a misread.
Actually, just overshot his tight end there. Alex Wackel, who was posted up right in the middle of the field, had nobody within 15 yards of him. And I think if Watson had that one to have that one over again, I think he makes that completion. I think he was kind of shocked when he got his feet set to see how wide open he was.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So again, now 2nd and 10, a situation Knox hasn't been in much of the night.
Flag on the play already.
Illegal substitution. Knox going to get caught with 12 guys on the field. Conroy was late getting off the field there. A little miscommunication. Somebody didn't let him know that they were coming in for him, and so kind of broke that no huddle with 12 guys. And that's a no-no. So 5-yard walk-off.
5-yard penalty on the Redskins. 2nd down, 15.
So the one thing we need to mention here, Knox still does have 2 timeouts left.
Yeah, that's one thing I need to probably keep track of better But you got to give me a break. This is my first football game.
You're fine.
Takes the snap and a flag on the play again.
Flag on the play.
And we have, what is it? Offsides on the defense.
Offsides the call against the Warriors. That'll bring us back to second and 10.
All right, second and 10, ball on the 32, minute and a quarter to go here. Minute 25 to go, 40-6. Knox is ahead. Cohen Watson takes the snap, fake handoff. He's running it himself. He's got 5 yards. Now he's got the first down and more. He's at the 50, the 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. He's taking it to the house. That's Cohen Watson, the QB senior, number 12.
68 yards on the ground there.
68-yard run.
I was wondering when we were going to see the quarterback counter. We've seen the zone option read, and that right there was just that was a counter play all the way. Faking that power to the right side and just pulling the one guard back to the other side and leading just like a quarterback ISO, but countered from all the action, and Winamac did not stay at home, and Watson goes 68 yards.
That unfortunately makes it for Winamac a 40-point deficit, and I don't know what Knox is doing here.
This is what you call the swinging gate on this extra point.
Okay, explain.
They have the only guys they got the center and the kicker. Everybody lines up on the line of scrimmage, and then you see how the defense lines up, and you either go for 2, or you swing the gate back over, and you line up and you kick the extra point.
I just find it interesting that the whole time Knox is playing like they're from behind. And Conroy gets the extra kick. They are just not letting off the gas. 47-6. Here at Roudabush Field, as we're counting down, we're going to stay here for a minute to go in the second quarter. We invite you to stick around for the Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning halftime show. You'll be talking with Chris McGowan, our sports analyst, our special guest Nathan Welter, and myself. I'm Mitch Columbi. So glad to be here with you.
Just, this is a heated rivalry, the Battle of Highway 35, Stark, Pulaski County. I tell you what, you got to give Knox all the credit in the world coming in here and just quite honestly just taking care of business. Winamac lost a lot to graduation. They lost 22, 23 seniors from last year's 9-1 football team. But Winamac is a prideful, a lot of tradition football program. So,
absolutely.
For Knox to come in here and to do this, pretty impressive.
Well, and I'll be honest with you, growing up in central Indiana, even I had heard of the Winamac Warriors. So, like you said, it's a tradition that goes way back. Football here in Winamac is serious. It's just unfortunate the scoreboard doesn't reflect that tonight. So, Jake Conroy getting a leg workout this evening.
Yeah, he'll have to skip legs on Monday.
Yeah, he's going to have to stretch it out in the morning, that's for sure. And he's set to kick. And it's off.
We fielded there about the 10-yard line.
Maddox Buzinski up to the left side. He gets to about the 25. He's got 30, 35, 40. And out. Taken down at about the 44, 43 maybe.
So, again, great starting field position for the Warriors. Just got to be able to take advantage.
And they've had signs. They've had moments where on the offensive end you really think that they're going to score. It's just been upsetting with the penalties and getting pushed back. They just can't quite get it to go.
Yeah, right now they have Winamac 7 penalties for 39 yards.
10 on the 43-yard line.
And here's a stat of the night. Knox is yet to punt.
Of all the things they haven't kicked, they haven't punted. All right, Cash Roth under center. Takes the snap.
Wing back counter. And again, Knox doing a very good job of defending that wing back counter.
Michael Lamer.
Looks like they've may have practiced that a time or two defensively, defending that play for the Warriors.
We have to pick up on that play. 2nd and 8 for the Warriors.
And again, 40 seconds left here to go in the first half, 47-6. The Redskins in control of this one. And Winamac here just going to take their time, maybe run one more play and get to halftime and regroup. That's just an ISO there. Bazinski pick up 2 yards, and that's going to do it. I think both teams are going to let the clock run out.
Well, 47-6 is the first half score. Knox up, Winamac down. We will be right back for the Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning halftime show. You are listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Tony, just listen. 73% lean ground beef in the family pack, $2.88 a pound. U.S. government inspected boneless New York strip steaks. We're going to make you keep that grill going, Tony.
Welcome to Rick Rab, 5-star in the Knox Mall. Well, that big old meat wagon just keeps on rolling at 5-star.
If you don't believe it, Tony, just listen. U.S. government inspected center cut rib pork chops, $1.99 a pound. Open Acres Virginia ham, full pound price as always, $4.99 for premium ham. All your favorite Coke or Pepsi product, assorted varieties, 12-pack, 12-ounce cans, 2 for $8.88. Where is that 5-star?
In the Knox Mall. Welcome to Marion University's newest location, Ancilla College of Marion University. Marion's newest campus location in Plymouth is your home for an on-campus college experience. From living in the dorms to being a collegiate student-athlete, Marion University is ranked 3rd most innovative Midwest university by U.S. News and World Report. For more information about our edu/Ancilla. That's www.marion.edu/Ancilla.
Welcome to the Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning halftime show on K99.3 FM. Here's Mitch Columbi.
All right, the first half's finished and over with. We've got a 15-minute break here. We're going to chat about all the action we've seen thus far. And I've got Nathan Welter and also Chris McGowan up here at the booth. Nathan, you caught a lot of information down there. We didn't get enough time to really throw it down and get some info from you, but what did you gather from what you saw?
Well, basically the biggest thing between the two sidelines is over on the Redskins sidelines, you got a lot of guys who are out there and they're having a lot of fun. They came out with confidence. And on the Winamac sideline, you have a lot of guys who started off the game having fun, but they realize against this Redskin team, you've got to be extremely disciplined. And Knox was able to catch them a few times kind of in the crossfire, and they were able to capitalize on it. And that's what's led to this 47-6 score. I think that the Redskins were able to take advantage, especially early in that first half, on some miscommunication with the Winamac defense especially. It's going to be interesting to see the adjustments that the Warriors make here at halftime and what they're able to do coming out of the locker room. And, for the Redskins, it'll be interesting to see if they can continue with that confidence and have another great half here in the third and fourth quarter.
Absolutely. Chris McGowan's been getting some inside information on scores around the area. Chris, do you have anything off the top of your head you want to share with us?
At halftime at South Central, Triton 43, the Satellites 0. And, East Noble putting it to Plymouth 37-0 at halftime.
Well, we were worried about Plymouth. We had a chance to talk the other day. Tony Ross, who's on our sister station, Max 98.3, you can tune in and listen to his game. I think it's LaVille and Bremen tonight. But Tony and I were talking, Plymouth's going to have a rough year right now, and they just don't have the squad that they were hoping they would have. That's unfortunate that they are down that far. Nathan, we talked a little bit earlier about Russ Radke and what to expect from him. He really has his foot full forward on the gas. And, I told Chris earlier from last year, they lost the game to Winamac last year, 35-14. This is a total different ball game a year later.
Yeah, it really is. And, you got to really attribute a lot of what the Redskins have been able to do to their work in the weight room. I mean, when you're down there on the sidelines next to these guys, you can tell that they've taken their conditioning in the offseason very seriously. And I'll tell you what, when you got guys like Miles McLaughlin and Jake Conroy in the backfield, that's a 1-2 punch that's going to get a lot of miles on it here over the next few years because they're both underclassmen.
Yeah,
so,
one's a freshman, one's a sophomore.
Yeah, so, for those two to be having the kind of game that they're having right now there's still a whole other half to play. And as Mr. McLaughlin will find out, varsity football games are a lot longer than junior high football games. So it really will be interesting to see the level of focus both of these teams have coming out of the locker rooms, because for the Redskins, being up 47-6 here at halftime, are they going to become complacent and allow Winamac to wiggle their way back in, or are they going to come out and continue to dominate the game the way they did in the first two quarters? On Winamac's side, are they going to come out and say, okay, we're going to treat the scoreboard like it's 0-0. Let's come out and punch them in the throat right from the get-go.
Yes.
Or are they going to come out of the locker room and be feeling sorry for themselves and allow the scoreboard to get worse? You never know with high school athletes what mentality they're going to have. So that'll be interesting to see.
And just a few conversations I've had with Josh Burgess, that's the type of attitude I feel like he has. Now, I've only talked to him maybe 3 or 4 times just in this week, but I feel like that's the exact attitude he would have going into this in this second half. And I think he has got to just tell his Warriors to not look at the scoreboard, just like you said. And we want to thank our sponsors tonight for Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give third-generation owner Brian Hammond a call at 574-936-4660, serving the local area since 1936. Well, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back for this halftime report. The Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning halftime show will be right back. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Making your home a comfortable home is the absolute top priority. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give them a call at 574-936-4660. Follow them on Facebook. Let Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning help you take control of your
comfort. Collins Insurance Agency in Knox has done it again. They have earned the distinction of preferred agency partner from the Western Reserve Insurance Company.
Can't touch this.
So what does that mean for you? Collins Insurance Agency prides themselves in taking care of its community. That means providing the best insurance that keeps you and your family safe at a time of need. And with this honor, Collins Insurance Agency looks forward to providing Stark and surrounding counties the best customer service you and your family deserve. Collins Insurance Agency in Knox, living the golden rule by treating you like family.
Welcome back to the Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning halftime show. Mitch Columby, Nathan Welter, Chris McGowan on hand for a little bit of a lopsided game. I'll be honest, I didn't see this happening, guys.
Yeah, when you come into week one, you never really know what to fully expect, and it's really been the Redskins' game here so far. Again, at halftime, 47-6 in their favor, and like I was saying before that last break, it's going to be interesting to see which two teams come out of the locker room here to start the second half. And I'm looking down in the Winamac crowd right now, and on the back of one of the fan shirts, it says, "We know what it's like to come up short, so now we come back better." And you wonder if that's the mentality that the Warriors are going to have coming into this second half and start to fight their way back. Now, I don't think that you look at the gigantic picture coming out. I think you look at the little picture. You say, okay, let's come out and win this first series. And you go from there. You have to build off of that one positive at a time. Let it snowball in the positive sense of that metaphor and get your way back into this ball game. One thing's for sure, this Redskin team has shown that they can put consecutive good quarters together back to back. So them coming out of the locker room, a lot of momentum in their favor. If they're able to continue playing in the second half the way they did in the first, this game could get even more lopsided. So that mentality is going to be huge.
I think the thing that I've been most impressed by with this Knox Redskin team is their physicality. And you mentioned it in the first half several times, just the offensively up front, defensively up front, they've just dominated the line of scrimmage. Well, I got the opportunity here at halftime over at Liberty Field, North Judson, 14-6. Culver hanging with the Blue Jays.
Good for Mike.
And another HNAC score or a team in the HNAC that both these teams would be interested in, LaVille. They've got all 22 starters back from last year.
Right.
And they are playing a very good tradition-rich program in the Bremen Lions and are up 42-0.
Wow.
On the Lions.
My goodness.
So LaVille, Coach Hostrauser there in LaVille got it going, and he brought in a former head coach, and Justin Begonia, who's actually calling the offense now for the Lancers.
Now, wait a minute. I thought LaVille was a basketball school.
I did too. When I was here 8 years ago, that's what I thought they were.
Well, it looks like Edison went out and Hostrauser's been there for forever now.
Right.
And then, his dad, all the success he had there. So, again, just some shocking scores there in one game that doesn't really affect the area. But imagine going into week one, Andrean, Maryville, the Battle of Broadway.
Right.
Maryville number 1 in 5A, Andrean number 1 in 2A. And right now in the second quarter, it's Maryville 13, Andrean nothing. So the Fighting 59ers are hanging with 5A number 1 team in the state of Indiana.
Well, and if it's one thing those two programs have, it's confidence in themselves. That's for sure.
Absolutely. We want to remind you to tune in next Friday as well for our second game of the season at Knox versus Rochester. Next week, Winamac takes on Pioneer, as those are two teams they're going to have to face each other in the long run probably. But we are focused on tonight with under 5 minutes to go here in halftime. We're going to take one more break, come back, finish things up, and get ready for the third quarter. You've been listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Stay tuned for more in-game action with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Culver's Portside Marina handles all water and recreational needs. When it comes to pontoons, Godfrey leads the industry in performance and quality, and Portside Marina has it in stock. From sampan, aqua patio, and sweetwater pontoons, if you're looking for a family boat, Culver Portside Marina can help. Located at 514 West Mill Street in Culver. Stop in or call them at 842-5000. Culver Portside Marina.
Back here at Rowdebush Field at halftime, where the Knox Redskins are in control of this contest, 47-6. And let's take a look at some of these halftime stats here. First downs, the Redskins have 8, Winamac 4. Rushing yards, I tell you what, wow. The Redskins, 15 rushing attempts, 278 yards in that first half. Winamac, 19 rushing attempts, 4 yards.
Ouch.
So just domination up front by that Knox Redskin defense.
Well, and you look at the kind of yardage the Redskins are getting per clip. When they hand the ball off, they're getting big chunks of yardage almost every time.
So through the air, where you like to hear the stats, here we go. Knox, 1 of 2 through the air, 50%, not a bad completion percentage for 20 yards. Winamac, 5 of 11, 2 interceptions for 117 yards. So total offense, Knox running 17 plays for almost 300 yards. They're at 298 in that first half. Winamac, 30 plays for 121. So Winamac has almost doubled Knox in the number of plays they've run, and Knox has doubled them in yardage, more than doubled them in yardage. Time of possession, again, this is shocking.
Yeah,
the Winamac Warriors, 16 minutes and 33 seconds possessing the football, and Knox, 7 minutes, 27 seconds. Again, just total domination by the Redskins. The Redskins have yet to punt.
Well, and I'm going to tell you after listening to those stats where I'm most disappointed in both of these programs. That entire first half, 47-6, a lot of points on the board right now. Only 13 passing attempts between these two programs. Come on, coaches Burgess and Radke, you're better than that.
And that is from Nathan Throw the Ball Welter. It's nice to have you back, buddy.
I know, right? I was about to say, thank God you're here.
I'm about to get really cynical now with all these great running statistics we've seen.
All right. And we were talking before this season, I told Chris, like the first week I met him, I said, man, I don't know if I'm going to have enough to talk about. And he goes, well, I'll talk to Nathan and we'll twist his arm a little bit. Couple weeks go by, Nathan's still not sure. Chris calls again, boom, bing, bang. Here you are. Like, it has just made the broadcast so much more smooth for me.
Well, and Chris led me to believe there were going to be a lot more passing attempts this season.
Sure he did.
And that, as it turns out, was a huge lie.
Dude, you can't trust anything that comes out of my mouth.
Next thing you're going to tell me is there's going to be no man-to-man defense during basketball season.
Exactly. Everybody's playing zone. Individually here for the Warriors, Cash Roth was 5 of 11, has the 2 interceptions for 117 yards, has the 1 touchdown. Rushing, Bazinski has 7 attempts for 14 yards. Jaden Jones, 6 attempts for 3 yards. Lamer, 4 attempts for 3 yards. Wall, 1 attempt for -8. And Roth, 1 attempt for -8 receiving. Bazinski has the big one. He has 2 receptions for 54 yards, has 1 touchdown, and that one was actually the 58-yarder, so he has 1 reception for -4. Jaden Jones has 2 receptions for 45, and Wall has 1 reception for 18. For the Knox Redskins, Cohen Watson, again, 1 of 2 for 20 yards, has the 1 touchdown pass to, who was that? Logan Taylor, number 24. So rushing, here we go. McLaughlin, the freshman. 6 attempts, 140 yards. He has a long of 78. He has scored 2 touchdowns. Cohen Watson has 75 yards on 3 attempts. That's not a bad average as well. 25 yards per attempt there. He has a long of 68 and one touchdown. Jake Conroy, who's definitely getting a leg workout with all these kicks, and he has 4 rushing attempts for 58 yards. He has a long of 44 and a touchdown. And Xavier Roman, 2 rushing attempts for 5 yards. So, again, just total offensive domination in that first half, hence the score 47-6.
We thank the Stark County Co-op, your local agricultural cooperative that offers an array of service and support, including grain, agronomy, seed, fuel, and LP petroleum. Call 574-867-2411 to contact the Stark County Co-op. Agronomy, you guys, that might be the word of the day.
Agronomy?
Agronomy. I said that without stumbling.
I'm still going back to the origination of a word at
yes.
This very spot. And you
in this press box.
In this press box, and you threw it out in the first half.
I was pummeling you.
Trickeration.
He said it earlier.
Yes, he did.
I make it a point to try and say that every broadcast that I'm involved with in order to pay correct homage to Chris McGowan and his elaborate vocabulary.
And I teach math for a living.
And he's a math teacher. Trickeration is, in fact, a word, ladies and gentlemen.
Old English.
Well, it was no surprise that Knox made it out of the halftime speech a little bit quicker than Winamac. I'd say Josh Burgess had a few words like Nathan was talking about. And, hey, you can't discredit the fact that they have a sophomore at QB and then their freshman center. So this is a young team. They are getting the experience they need against teams like this, and Knox showing their full might and power. This is only going to help Winamac get better to experience what it's like to go up against adversity.
Yeah, and especially with as tough as what the Hoosier North Athletic Conference is in the sport of football, I mean, it's not going to get any easier between the tackles in the coming weeks. So, the baptism by fire, it's painful initially, but in the long run, it'll be good for this Warriors team.
It is one of the better small school football conferences in the state of Indiana, that's for sure. When you look at the Pioneer, LaVille, North Judson, Knox, Winamac, just teams that year in, year out have had success. Triton is back on the winning ways. Just great football from top to bottom in this conference.
Absolutely. That's one of the reasons I'm very excited about this season to call. Football in this area is serious, and I take it serious, and I'm glad that I've got serious guys up here to let me know exactly what I'm seeing on the field, because there's been several times you guys heard where I'm having a little bit of trouble of keeping up with who's catching, who's got the ball. It's been a learning lesson for me as well tonight.
Well, and that's one of the things with both of these programs. They don't rely solely on one individual, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They rely on groups, and you can see both teams kind of platooning at the skill positions, getting different guys in there in different situations. So they're not one-dimensional offensive programs. They like to spread the ball around, and there's a lot of stuff going on with motioning and shifting and those types of things.
And another score update, North Judson has put another touchdown on the board, so they are now up 20-6 early in the second half.
Good old Brett Lambert. You know, when we had a chance to talk to head coach Lambert of North Judson the other night, I asked him, I said, how do you pronounce your name? I just want to make sure it's correct. He said, it's Brett Lambert. And I said, oh, Brett Lambert from San Pierre?
Yeah.
He thought that was funny. I thought it was a good one.
Yeah, he kept waiting for you to mention that while we were doing that broadcast there from Papa Farm Pizza.
I was a little nervous.
That sounds like a Brett Lambert type of thing to say.
Yes, it does.
Brett Lambert from North Judson, San Pierre. All right, we're getting ready for the second half. 47-6, the Knox Redskins are up over the Winamac Warriors. And we are looking at Knox receiving first. Or Knox receiving here in the second half, excuse me. Today's sports broadcast is brought to you by Dairy Queen of Winamac. Don't forget to grab some ice cream across the street after the game. We thank them for supporting local high school sports.
And again, it's going to be very interesting to see how these two teams are able to start off this second half with such a lopsided score.
Well, the last time the Warriors kicked off, Knox took it to the house. So let's see what happens here.
And I'm sure that was mentioned a time or two in the locker room at halftime.
My gosh. And the kick is up and away. We are underway in the second half here as
McLaughlin again.
Thank you. McLaughlin up the middle. He gets to about the 43-yard line.
Yeah, and a little bit of a shorter kick that time. McLaughlin coming out hobbling
a little bit
under his own power, but you don't like to see that if you're the Knox Redskins. Good coverage there by the Winamac kickoff team. Again, kind of a shorter kickoff that time, not allowing McLaughlin to get as much momentum going on that return.
That looked kind of like of a limp running off the field where he got kicked in the shin.
Right, yeah. Just one of those things where you're saying a few choice four-letter words on your way up, but you'll be back in here in a minute or so.
Surely not in high school.
Of all the things in a football game, getting kicked in the shin was always the worst. That and getting the wind knocked out of you.
1st and 10, ball on the 42. 11 minutes to go in the third quarter. And the senior, Cohen Watson, takes the snap, hands off, and he's tackled immediately by number 55 of Winamac.
Garner with the big play coming from his linebacker position. No hesitation there by Talon as he's able to get through that line of scrimmage. Quick read and just trusted his instincts.
Yeah, saw that open window and closed it. Open door and closed that door quick. So again, Winamac, they're playing in a base 4-3 defense here against this Redskin offense.
The Redskins looking at a 2nd and long here, not something they've had to deal with a whole lot in this ballgame so far.
But you got to like the start there for Winamac defensively with that first play.
2nd and 10, ball on the 42 again. Cohen Watson takes the snap, hands off. About 4 or 5 yards. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a good job there by Roman getting the handoff off the left side, and that's one of those, again, I talked a little bit in the first half. That's one of those weight room runs. He was hit initially at the line of scrimmage and kept his legs going. All those squats and power cleans he was doing during those summer months really paid off there. Instead of it being 2nd and long, it's now 3rd and 4.
Well, I got a tour of the facilities over there at Knox. They've got like 3 or 4 weight rooms all together. It's like it's like a small college, really.
Redskins back on the attack here with 9.5 minutes left to go in the third quarter.
Takes the snap, hands off to Conroy.
And a good patient run there by Conroy, letting his blockers set up and just did a patient run there, picked up about 8 yards and another first down for the Redskins.
Yeah, and you said a word there that these Redskins ball carriers have really been utilizing throughout this ball game. It's patience. They aren't going 1,000 miles an hour when the ball gets in their hands. They're letting those holes open up and then exploding through.
Yeah, they hit it when they need to hit it. The timing is great, but like you said, it's very patient, very methodical, and I tell you what, man, they can go from 0 to 60 like that.
And one of the other things that I noticed on the Redskins sideline is their communication between not just the coaches communicating with the players, but the players communicating with each other.
Yeah, too tight formation here for the Redskins.
Yeah, going with the wingback once again off the right side on 1st and 10. The handoff goes off the left side, and another nice gain still on the move with the legs chopping Xavier Roman close to a first down. Got about 9.5 yards on that first down carry. So Redskins in a great situation here on second down, coming up on 8 minutes almost left here in the third quarter. Redskins leading Winamac 47-6, and in really good territory here with the ball resting right around the 35-yard line of the Winamac Warriors.
Yeah, with the score being 47-6, I think in the second half that automatically does the running clock.
Yeah.
So this second half is going to fly by here.
Yeah, and I don't think either team is looking for that aerial attack I've been hoping for, and maybe in week 2.
Second and 1 on the ball on the 35, 7:40 to go. He hands off up on the right side. Who's that, number 30?
Yeah, that was Roman again.
Yeah, that was number 20, Xavier Roman.
20.
And a great job there by the Warrior defense. They own the edge of the line of scrimmage to the offense's right that time, and that's something we haven't seen a lot from this Winamac defense, is them able to turn those outside run plays back in. Great job there by the defensive line of the Warriors.
Yeah, that's Wyatt Wheeler there, the junior, 6'4", 225 defensive lineman. Did a good job of swallowing Roman up there.
Well, I'd say they took the speech from Josh Burgess to heart because they're playing a little bit more tough here in the second half with 7 minutes to go. 3rd and 1 on the 35.
Another tough situation here for the Winamac defense.
The last time in this 3rd and short, they brought the house.
Watson takes the snap, hands off.
And Roman's going to get to
up
the corner.
To the left side. He's up to the 5th. Oh, he's going to score all the way. Touchdown. Knox Redskins.
Yeah, and that was just a counter-type play. You had the guard and the tackle both pulling from the right side, going off to the left, and just a great job there. Once again, Redskins ball carriers being patient. They're still being very aggressive, but they're able to allow those blocks to get sealed before they really turn on the Jets. And once again, the Redskins find themselves in the end zone, now up 53-6, pending the extra point. Here for Knox with 6:10 left to go here in the third quarter.
Swinging gate.
Yeah, Jake Conroy on to attempt the extra point here. Jordan in to hold. Again, the clock running now with the score being what it is. The snap is down, the kick is up, and it splits the uprights. It is good, making the score 54-6 with 5:40 left to go here in the third quarter. We'll be back after we pause for this 30-second timeout.
Rick Rad, 5-star in the Knox Mall. Well, that big old meat wagon just keeps on rolling at 5-star. If you don't believe it, Tony, just look.
73% lean ground beef in the family pack, $2.88 a pound. Our family purified or spring water, 24-pack half-liter bottles, $2.99. Prairie Farms, 1%, 2% or skim milk, each and every gallon jug, $3.99. And listen how you can mix and match them. Eckrich, beef cheese or bun length franks, bologna or cotto salami, 10 to 14 ounce, 3 for $5. Where is that 5-star?
In the Knox Mall.
Well, back here at Rodabush Field in Winamac with the Knox Redskins leading the Winamac Warriors 54-6 with 5:46 left to go in the third quarter. And it's been all Redskins all the time for the most part, but the Warriors showing some signs of life in this third quarter, although the Redskins have been able to get back into the end zone. But Winamac still showing some fight despite that lopsided score. The Redskins teeing up to kick off to the Warriors, and Winamac right now, if they can get a decent return here and start to shift that mentality, they can still make a little bit of noise, even though the scoreboard is heavily in favor of the Knox Redskins.
Yeah, I mean, right now you want to win the second half, and right now they're down 7-0.
Jake Conroy tees it up, kicks it away off to the right side of the kickoff team. Ball bounces around, gets away from the return man. He picks it up, gets the ball to the 25, out to the 30, has a little bit of room, shakes and bakes. He's on the sidelines, steps out of bounds, I believe. The referees didn't see it, so he's able to fight his way to the Redskin 45-yard line. A heck of an effort there on that return. And the Redskins, Jones with a nice return, but the Redskins with their backs against the wall a little bit here, and that's the kind of play Winamac has needed.
And that's usually what happens when you have a kickoff like that and the ball's bouncing around out there. And that messes up the timing, and all it takes is for a couple guys to get out of their lane, and that's exactly what happened. Now, Jaden Jones did a great job of making a couple guys miss to be able to get the ball across the 50, but nice return there for the Warriors.
5 minutes left to go here in the third quarter of play. The Warriors spreading things out. 2 receivers to each side out of the shotgun formation. Man in motion. Whistle blows the play dead before the play can get going. And I believe the Redskins had to call it. Yeah, the Redskins called a timeout. They only had 10 men on the field, and the 11th guy was running on there at the last second. So Coach Radke very intelligently calling that timeout, because the last thing you want to do is, first of all, have 10 guys on the field. Second of all, have 11 guys on there when only 10 know what they're doing. So a timeout here by the Redskins.
Yeah, again, defense is hard enough when you got all 11 guys out there playing with 10. Yeah, so. But again, Winamac, a nice return there to get this momentum going now. In the first half, they get some momentum going, and then they shoot themselves, like I said, I've said it 3 times now, in the foot with the penalties and the false starts. The penalties have really hampered their drives and killed their momentum.
And starting with the ball on the 45-yard line of the Knox Redskins, again, a great opportunity here for Winamac to start building some of that confidence. Yes, the score is kind of lopsided, but you can still get a lot of positive things out of this ball game. The last part here in the last half of the third quarter and into the fourth.
Right, yeah. You're telling me you don't even look at the scoreboard. That means nothing right now.
Right.
You just play football, and let's put some positive plays together back to back and start building some momentum.
4:49 left to go in the third quarter. Knox leading Winamac 54-6. Warriors come out in a spread formation, 2 receivers to each side. Man in motion left to right of the formation. Here's the snap. Quick pitch goes out, and a whistle flag coming in. That's going to be a procedure penalty against the Warriors. Had a couple of guys going before the ball got snapped, so that's going to kind of put a damper on the momentum Winamac looked like they had. That's going to make it 1st and 15 for the Winamac Warriors. Ball now at the 50-yard line. Still in really good field position. You just hate to see those shooting in the foot penalties.
Right. Baczynski there not being able to sit in his stance and just wait for the ball to be snapped. Started to roll forward a little bit in his stance, and the referee called it.
Again, a running clock here with the scoreboard reading 54-6 in favor of Knox. The Warriors coming out with their double wing single back set. Here's the snap, back to drop, looking left, throws right, and he's got a man. The ball bounces off of the defender's helmet, it looked like. A nice throw there down the field for the Winamac Warriors as Roth really unleashed one there, but great coverage by the Redskins secondary, and that's the kind of shot I think the Warriors really needed to take, even though it fell incomplete. You got to do something to try and loosen up that Redskin defense.
Well, yeah, the Redskins are lining up in a 4-4. They got a single high safety. But they're playing cover 1. The safety's free.
Right.
He can, he's reading the quarterback's eyes underneath everybody's man-to-man coverage. So trying to take advantage with those slot backs on the outside linebackers for the Redskins.
2nd and 15 for the Warriors. Here's the snap. Pitch goes off to the left side and wrapped up by 3 different Redskins there. And who was that? That was 21 there. Caden Reisner, I believe, coming in to make that the final play there. And that's going to be a loss of yardage for the Winamac Warriors. The Redskin defense, again, doing a great job rallying to the ball.
But, again, that was a great job by Xavier Roman setting the edge there, allowing 21 to fill from the inside and make that play behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Reisner doing a great job feeding off of that. And that's, the linebackers in the secondary, they have to be able to read. We always talk about offensive backs needing to read the offensive line. Well, defensive backs, linebackers, they need to be able to read the defensive line.
Yeah, you got to be able to know where to fill.
3rd and 17 here for the Warriors. They go with their base 2 wide receiver, 2 wing back formation. Man in motion left to right. Drop back to pass. Here's the pass off to the right side, the wheel route, and it's going to be completed. Flag comes out, and that's going to be pass interference against the Redskins. Either way, it's a first down for Winamac. A tremendous effort there on that catch by Jaden Jones, the junior, going down the sidelines there, had a defender right on him, but the defender at no point made an effort to turn back and look for the ball. So a great job by the officiating crew right on top of that. And as I said, he caught the pass anyway, so it was going to be a good play for the Winamac Warriors, giving them a first down with 1:52 left to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, needed 17, picked up 18. So 3rd and 17, and a wheel route out of the backfield.
And looks like, for those of you who are wondering, officially they're going to decline the penalty. As we said, it didn't matter regardless. It would be a first down for Winamac. So the Warriors with the ball 1st and 10 as they come back to the line of scrimmage. They're going to have to wait to get the chains reset. Or are they not giving them the – yeah, okay. So, yeah, they've got to wait for the chains to get reset. Warriors back on the line of scrimmage in their double wing, 2 wide receivers, single back formation, but they're going to be running out of the shotgun this time. Cash Roth in that shotgun formation at quarterback, sends his man in motion left to right, drops back to throw, flag comes out. Roth under pressure. He's rolling out to his left. Going to get away from it? No. He's chased down and thrown down to the ground by the Redskin defense, Caden Reisner.
Look out.
And flags coming out as there's a lot of extracurricular activity between the two teams. This is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against somebody, as both teams, of course, pointing at one another. But, yeah, this is going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against someone. Before we get to what the penalty is going to be, again, great job defensively by the Redskins.
Well, here's my question. It was an obvious false start by Winamac. Why was the play not blown dead?
Well, and I think that might be what they're discussing right now. 3 of the officials are huddled up around the 35-yard line. They're having a conversation, and they had the press box stop the clock so they can iron this out. And there might be a false start penalty before they're going to call illegal shift against the Warriors. And now let's see if this unsportsmanlike, and it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct against both teams.
Offset.
So those are going to offset. But we had the illegal shift penalty, so that's going to be put against the Warriors offense. 25.6 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Knox leading Winamac 54-6. And that's about as discombobulated as we've seen these two teams in a while.
But even with it being an illegal shift, should that not have stopped the play? So, to me, the sportsmanlike conduct, if they blow the play dead, none of that extracurricular activity happens.
Right. Yeah, and I don't know if that was what had the ultimate effect on that play. But regardless of all that, it's 1st and 20 for the Winamac Warriors. 25.6 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Knox leading 54-6. And not really what we expected coming into week 1. But when it's Knox and Winamac, you never really know what to expect, I guess. 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side. You got the double wing setback, single back in the backfield behind Roth for what should be the final play of the third quarter for the Winamac Warriors. Roth under center, sends his man in motion. Here's the snap. It's going to be the wingback counter coming back off the left side. He's got room. He's at the 30, the 25, the 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown Warriors. What a run there by Michael Lamer, the 5'11", 170-pound senior running back. And that wingback counter, you stick with it till the final whistle or the final horn sounds. If you're the Winamac Warriors, you're always guaranteed every game at least one monster play out of that very basic Warrior play, the wingback counter. What a run there by Lamer.
Yeah, again, it's just because you have to stay disciplined every single time it's run. It's like facing a wishbone team. Triple option team. You have to stay disciplined because the one time you don't, you're looking at a big play, and that's exactly what happened.
And that's going to bring on Connor Burton to attempt the extra point with the third quarter now having come to an end. And the Warriors only had 10 guys out on the field, so they bring in lucky number 11. And the extra point attempt pending. Here's the snap. The hold is down, the kick is up, and it is
good.
No good. Yeah, just went a little bit to the left. As the third quarter comes to an end, the Redskins leading the Winamac Warriors 54-12. We'll be back after we pause for this 30-second timeout.
Check. Can you guys hear me at all?
Website. You can visit that at www.winamacwarriors.com.
We can't.
Check. Check.
It's because the program ticketing sales helps fund your school's athletic department.
Check.
Well, back here at Rodebush Field at Winamac Community High School as we get ready to start the fourth quarter, the Knox Redskins leading the Winamac Warriors 54-12. The Warriors offense showing some signs of life in that last drive that really started with a nice kick return. They had great starting field position and were able to take advantage of that. So the Redskins are going to send out their kickoff return team, and something they haven't had to do a whole lot, but when they have had the return team out there, they've had a lot of really good success.
Exactly.
So it'll be interesting to see how Winamac handles this kickoff. Are they going to pooch it, make the Redskins fair catch it? Are they going to do a squib kick, make them pick it up off the ground? Or might they try an onside kick and get the ball back?
I might be kicking as hard as I can at one of those front linemen for the Redskins.
Well, with this, again, the score 54-12, I don't think anyone would blame the Warriors if they would try some kind of an onside kick here, some kind of a trick kick.
Here's the thing. If you're Coach Burgess, hey, you're 7-6 in the second half, and that's what you want to talk about.
Right.
You talk about at halftime, come out and win the second half, and right now it's 7-6.
As we get ready for the opening kickoff of the fourth quarter for the Winamac Warriors, Redskins getting ready to receive. They've got McLaughlin deep in the middle. Actually, no, check that. That's Conroy, I believe, deep in the middle of their return squad. And here's the kick. Fielded at the 20-yard line, out to the 25, to the 30, to the 35, and he's going to be brought down right around the we'll call about the 38, 39-yard line. And let's see, that looked like it was Connor Winzak on the return. Number 8 for the Redskins, doing a good job just going north and south.
Yeah, just get as much yardage as you can there, heading north, that route of Bush Field.
Well, I appreciate you stepping in there, Nathan. Just couldn't quite figure out what's going on down there on the sideline.
It's week one for us, too.
Well, I want to say we forgot to mention the traveling trophy. The traveling trophy. It is here tonight, and it looks like it's unfortunately for Winamac going to have to go to the Knox Redskins.
Well, and it's been a little while since anyone in the Hoosier North Athletic Conference has had it, and the Redskins, I'm sure, have a space for it all ready to go in their athletic department.
Looks like it was a handoff up to the right side.
Connor Winzak with the carry off the right side did a nice job getting to the edge. Falling forward, the Winamac defense really did a great job of swarming him to limit him to about 1.5 yards.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by the Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen. We appreciate them supporting local high school sports. Well, guys, it's just not been quite the game we were hoping for, but nonetheless, I think this is a learning experience for the Winamac Warriors.
Absolutely. They're going to have a lot of things they're going to be able to look on with film tomorrow morning during their film session, and they'll be able to get some positives out of it. Obviously, the Redskins will as well. Handoff off the left side, and once again, that was Connor Winzak. Winamac defense doing a nice job of wrapping him up very early. Got about 1 yard maybe out of it.
This might be the time frame we see some players that aren't starters get some time in the game, which is good if you're Knox. They get some players that don't get a lot of time on the field to be able to get experience that is needed.
So 3rd and 7 here for the Redskins.
And this is, once again, the Redskins' 3rd and 7. Here's the handoff to Winzak off the right side. He's going to get about 2 or 3 yards there. The Warrior defense, again, doing a nice job of swarming around him. But Winzak actually able to get some pretty decent yardage there. It's going to bring up 4th down for the Redskins. 4th and about 4 yards to go. So we'll see what the Redskins do here. If they do a quick kick or something like that. I'm not sure if it doesn't look like they're sending out.
Looks like they're going to go for it.
Are they going to try and go for it? They're on the Winamac 46-yard line.
They sent Cohen Watson back out
there.
there.
Their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, they sent Cohen Watson, the starting quarterback, back out there. They are going for this, guys, unless it's maybe a little trickeration.
Well, look for the hard count here, because an encroachment penalty would give the Redskins a first down.
All right, he's under center. Looks like you're exactly right. Yep. Timeout on the field with 8:50 to go. We're going to stay here, though, as we want to thank our good friends for tonight's game. It's brought to you in part by Lawrence Farms. We thank Todd Lawrence for supporting local high school sports, as well as Zingo Express of Knox. They're a proud sponsor of tonight's football action. Stop by Zingo Express in Knox and fuel up both you and your vehicle the Zingo Express way.
And right now, I think both coaching staffs are having very similar conversations. They're saying, I know when you look at the scoreboard, that score looks pretty ugly, but we have to make sure that we're staying disciplined regardless of which side of the scoreboard you're talking about. If you're the Redskins, you're saying, hey, we have to stay disciplined, no dumb penalties. And if you're the Warriors, you're saying, hey, we have to stay disciplined. Don't check out of this game until that final horn sounds, because that's a good way that people end up getting hurt when you lose your focus, whether you're on the winning or the losing side.
Well, the timeout, they've had their conference.
And the Redskins coming out in their punt formation now.
They're ready to punt it away, and it looks like back in the backfield for Winamac is for returning. Who is that? Number...
It's always hard to see because they're standing to the side of us. Hard to make out those numbers.
All right, snaps away. The punt is up. It looked like he may have called for a fair catch there.
Well, I hit the ground and rolled to a stop. So regardless of whether he gave the signal or not, the Redskins are able to kill the ball at the 26-yard line, it looks like. So with just under 8.5 minutes remaining in the ball game, Knox still leading 54-12 over Winamac, 1st and 10 Warriors.
A complete opposite game from last year, that's for sure.
Well, and, here again, tomorrow morning when these two teams are watching their film, they're both going to get a lot of good things out of this, but they're also going to get a lot of negative things out of it. And keep in mind, if you're a Warriors fan, this is only week 1.
Absolutely. Cash Roth under center. Looks to his right, sets him in motion, takes the snap, hands off, quick to, looks like, oh my gosh, he's up to the 50, back to the 45-40, 35-30, 25-20, 15-10, 5 to the house, touchdown, number 24.
Jaden Jones. And that's that wingback counter once again that the Warriors for a couple of decades now have been having a lot of success with. They hit another home run off of that play in the person, as you said, Jaden Jones doing a great job. And once he saw that opening, you saw him hit the X button, and he really turned on the Jets, showing off his speed in the open field. And the Redskins really caught looking that time. And that Chris, that's one of those things that you kind of run into mentally when you're the team on the winning side of that lopsided scoreboard. Sometimes you have those types of mental breakdowns.
And right now you can actually see it on the sideline. The Knox starting defensive unit is over there right behind all of the coaches going, put us back in because, we want to keep this game, the score indicative of how this game actually went. But, again, the Redskins have got their JV defense in there. But, again, you still have to execute no matter who's on the field. And Winamac, the last 2 plays, have executed that wingback counter to perfection.
54-19, Knox is leading. But that play right there alludes to what Nathan Welter was saying. That's a play they'll see tomorrow morning and be happy with what happened.
Yeah, and they're really going to be able to sit down and analyze that play with the players and show them exactly why that was so successful. And they're also going to be able to take those plays in the first half, those counter plays that they've been able to have so much success with, and that's what they're going to look to build off of. You don't just take the negative plays and focus on those in those film sessions. You also have to take the positive plays and focus on those as well. Flip that around for the Redskins. That's one of the more negative defensive plays they've had, but they've had a lot of great plays on defense as well. So what does all that mean? It means both of these teams have a lot to go over in film session tomorrow morning.
Now, Chris, if you're Josh Burgess, do you onside kick it here to keep it, to try to get the ball back?
No. I think you just go ahead and kick it deep and you let your defense, they need as much practice as possible, in real game situations. So I kick it deep here and let my defense play. The one thing you talk about all the film session, what's amazing is all the years I've done this, it's never as good as what you thought it was, and it's never as bad.
You know, I was on the field. I was on the field a couple decades ago for that 73-6 game, and
You'll never forget it.
Well, no. What I'm saying is, the scoreboard was 73-6, but we weren't that bad. We were bad, but we weren't that bad.
Well, it kicks off. Looks like that is McLaughlin, and he gets it back up to about the 37-yard line.
So decent starting field position here for the Redskins. 6 minutes left to go in the ball game. The Redskins up 54-19. Probably going to be seeing a lot of clean jerseys here in these final 6 minutes for both sides of the ball. Again, getting guys some reps on Friday night under the lights, regardless of which side of the score you're on. That's important in the long run, especially when you get into postseason play. And, I've already said it a bunch of times, but it is important to remember, regardless of which team you're pulling for, this is week 1, folks. You're never as good as you think you are. You're never as bad as you think you are.
The greatest improvement is always made from week 1 to week 2. And here's, we haven't talked about it very much, but this Winamac Warrior team, let's be honest, they lost 22 seniors from last year's team.
Yeah.
So this is on-the-job training for this Winamac Warrior team.
Yeah, regardless of how much practice you get in the preseason, you can never duplicate what it is on Friday nights.
Exactly.
So the Redskins come out with the ball on 1st and 10, 5 minutes left to go in the ball game, and they're going to continue to let the clock running clock because the score is what it is, 54-19 in favor of the Redskins. So the Redskins aren't going to snap the ball until they absolutely have to, and it looks like they were actually a man down, so they got a lineman trotting in from the sidelines to get into his position.
4:40 to go, 1st and 10. Takes the snap, hands off over to the right side. He gets about 5 yards. That's number 8.
Still going.
Yeah, Winzak doing a great job keeping those legs moving, and I'm not sure he was ever actually taken down. They blew the play dead when he came to a stop. Had about 3 defenders on him and some teammates pushing him forward. But, yeah, when you're the officials, you want to blow that play dead because this is the last thing you want to see happen is someone possibly get injured in a blowout game.
Yeah, rolled up on in a game of this magnitude.
Yeah, so those whistles are going to get a little bit quicker here in the last 4 minutes.
All right. Sitting on the 45-yard line, 2nd and 3rd. Knox with the ball. Cohen Watson, the senior, doing an excellent job tonight for the Redskins. Takes the snap. Hands off to the same number 8. I can't remember his name. Connor Winzak. Thank you.
Flag coming out, though, here. Probably going to be a hold against the Redskins. That came out pretty quickly there, and that's exactly what it's going to be, holding against Knox. So the Redskins, again, obviously they're going to be keeping the ball on the ground here in the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Connor Winzak getting a lot of reps tonight, and again, we go back to getting that kind of experience on Friday nights. Winzak's going to be a guy I think that's going to get more and more carries, more and more touches as this season progresses.
Mark's Body Shop in Knox is proud to be part of the broadcast this evening. If you ever need collision repair or semi and RV repairs, contact Mark at 574-772-7003.
Now here's my question. And if I ever get a chance to talk to Coach Radke, I may, off the record, of course, I'm going to ask him, so do you actually call your tight ends? Because in the formations you line up in, they're covered up. They're not eligible. So are they just a glorified tackle?
It's technically an unbalanced formation.
Right.
A little extra protection maybe.
Hey, you get to play tight end this year. What are you talking about, Coach? You don't have a tight end.
You mean an 80s number tackle.
Right.
2nd and 13. Watson takes the snap. He hands off to Winzak again. No, I think he kept it.
Yeah, the timing was all messed up because that was a high snap. So tried to get the handoff to Winzak, but he ended up just keeping it. And
and that's a veteran play right there by Watson. He had to use his basketball jumping ability to get that snap, and he brought it down. Saw the play was going to be blown up in the backfield because Winamac had tremendous penetration on that play. So he just tucked the ball up, took the loss. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 13 or 14 yards to go for the Redskins. Coming up on 2 minutes left to go in the ball game.
In the 4th quarter at North Judson. North Judson up 26-12 with 10:43 left to go in the game.
Sounds like Culver defense has done an excellent job at keeping that top 5 team at bay.
Well, the Redskins able to recover that. Nice job, Connor Winzak, able to wrap that up. But the Warriors' defense
was all over it.
Yeah, again, not allowing the Redskins to turn nothing into something. Doing a good job smothering that. That's going to bring up 4th and forever for the Redskins.
A really good defensive possession from Winamac. They'll remember that one tomorrow. And we thank Collins Insurance, taking care of all your insurance needs. That's Collins Insurance, supporting local high school sports.
Again, another high snap there, messing up the timing of that play. The center needs to keep his derriere down when he snaps that ball. He's coming up too fast, which is causing that snap to go high.
Yeah, and that's what the coaches always emphasize with their centers, regardless of if they're talking about a long snapper for out of a shotgun formation or out of a pump formation. You got to keep your hips down so the ball doesn't go that high. And again, here late in the ball game, fatigue is becoming a factor, and less than a minute to go. A flag comes out. It's going to be a delay of game against the Knox Redskins, I believe.
54 seconds to go, and there's 54-19. Knox leads.
Yeah, and that was Knox is going to be lining up to punt here. As it was 4th and forever anyways, so they're just trying to let that clock run down and get out of here, not risk anyone getting injured. And they might actually take another penalty here. I don't know if they're going to line up at all.
Well, I kind of...
Because it's a running clock.
Absolutely. Well, and one more real quick. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Culver Portside Marina. They can make sure your boat is ready for the winter. If you need help storing or winterizing your watercraft, contact Glenn Bailey at 574-842-5000.
Yeah, and a nice move here by Coach Radke and the Redskin coaching staff. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to go ahead and take the penalty and just let that clock run out. 10 seconds left. And
that'll do it.
Yeah, I doubt they're even going to throw the flag here.
Well, that'll be the game for us here at Roudebush Field, 54-19. Stick around. We've got more to talk in the post-game show with special guest Nathan Welter and sports analyst Chris McGowan. I'm Mitch Columbi. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
For that major cleanup or building project at your house or business, Lap Waste of Monterey offers dumpster rental and trash removal with efficiency and reasonable pricing. Lap Waste provides you with a dumpster rental to meet all your practical needs. Your trash removal needs may include things like refrigerator disposal, construction or yard waste removal, whatever the need. Call Lap Waste at 574-542-4019 or book online. For your trash removal needs, there's no waste with Lap Waste.
Hey folks, Auto Park Fort LaPorte has got some news for you. We now have the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in LaPorte County. So if you're in the market, come and check us out because right now is the best time to trade in your current vehicle. Not interested in purchasing a vehicle? That's okay. We'll buy yours even if you don't buy ours. Not currently in the market, but your car needs serviced? Come check out our newly renovated service department and let them take care of all your service needs. And remember, we're not just an auto dealer, we're an auto park.
Howard's Marathon in Winamac has a reputation built on getting things done right. With 30 years experience as an ASE Master Auto Technician, Dean Wentz is the right choice for the auto repairs or service. From auto computer diagnostic checks to new batteries and tires, they can take care of it all. Howard's Marathon is a proud supporter of area high school sports and wishes all teams a great season. Howard's Marathon, 121 South Monticello Street in Winamac. Call 574-946-6894.
Stay tuned for more in-game action with Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Coke knows there's nothing better than the beat of the summer. The beat begins in a simple and mellow place, from low-key to hyped up. So we're helping you and your friends drink it all in with 100 days of the artist's experiences, tracks, and concerts with the best names in music, all at Coke Studio. Drink, scan, and enjoy your Coke so you never miss out on all the amazing offers we're dropping this summer.
Welcome to the Collins Insurance Agency's post-game show. Let's get back to Mitch Columbi and Chris McGowan.
Well, welcome back here to Roudebush Field here in Winamac, Indiana. Mitch Columbi, Nathan Welter, and Chris McGowan on hand for the post-game show brought to you in part by Collins Insurance. Well, fellas, a tough game for Winamac, but they have a lot to learn from, and I think you're right, Nathan. Tomorrow morning in the game film room, they are definitely going to take a lot of positives, some negatives to turn into positives in the long run, and that's what they're going to have to do. Now, on the flip side, Knox excellent job. They did what they needed to do. Russ Radke came in here off a loss last year against Winamac, 35-14 last year, and turned it into a 54-19 win tonight.
Well, very encouraging from a Redskins standpoint, because not only with the win and the way they were able to get points on the board, defensively they were consistent for the most part from start to finish, had a couple of breakdowns that the Warriors were able to take advantage of, but I think overall for a week one game especially, the Knox Redskins really have to be encouraged with the start they've had, and being able to not only get that week one win, but you get a win over a major rival, a conference opponent, and we just saw Winamac senior Michael Lamer deliver the traveling Hoosier North Athletic Conference trophy to the Knox Redskins. Came over and first class on his part, handed it to Coach Radke. Some Knox assistants came over, shook his hand, thanked him, told him good game. But what a great tradition for the HNAC, that traveling trophy. So much fun to watch that bounce around from team to team, and the Redskins getting a first-class win and a first-class job there again by Winamac senior Michael Lamer, delivering that conference trophy to the new owners, the Knox Redskins.
Now, Monday night in our preseason show, you heard Coach Radke talking about, building off of last year's momentum. They had a lot of success in that tournament, and they had a nice tournament run, the Redskins, towards the end of the season.
They won the last 4 of the last 5, I believe.
Yeah, towards the end of that season, and talking about building off of that. And tonight, I tell you what, it was just a continuation of that success.
Thank you to LAP Waste Disposal of Monterey for being one of our sponsors tonight. They specialize in trash dumpsters in several sizes to meet your needs. Super quick dumpster delivery and pickup, and at a flat rate with no hidden fees. Call 574-542-4019. That's LAP Waste Disposal. Well, fellas, we'll talk about the play of the game here in a few minutes, but anything else you want to add in before we take a break here before that?
A couple of scores. Finals, Triton 49, South Central 0. The Ville ended up winning 42-0 over the Bremen Lions, or as I like to call them because of the way their helmets look, the Fighting Sixes. Again, just some good, and actually that Maryville Andrean score at halftime, Andrean has put a touchdown on the board, so it's 13-7 at halftime, the last update there. And I believe at Portage, Coach Terry Chestovich, right?
Yeah, Coach Chesty.
The guy I replaced at Knox.
Yeah, former Knox head coach.
Former Knox head coach. I replaced him at Knox, having some success tonight, up 33-21 late in his ball game tonight. So,
we talked earlier about the war on US 35. I just had a chance to talk with Russ yesterday, and it was interesting. I said, Coach, where all of you coached? And one of the teams he coached was Connorsville.
Right.
Connorsville was my high school rival, the war on 44. I went to Rushville High School. So when I heard he coached at Connorsville, I was connecting the dots. Radke's been all over the state. Where has he not coached?
As my father oftentimes says, everybody has a Russ Radke story.
I'd say so. Well,
one more score to report.
Please.
Lewis Cass beat Pioneer tonight 16-0.
Wow, so that's something surprising. We thought we think Pioneer is probably going to make a late run and be somewhat of a rival against North Judson there at the last game of the season. That's interesting. Well, we're going to take a quick break, step away. We'll be right back with the Stark County Co-op Play of the Game. You're listening to the Collins Insurance postgame show on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Collins Insurance Agency in Knox has done it again. They have earned the distinction of preferred agency partner from the Western Reserve Insurance Company. So what does that mean for you? Collins Insurance Agency provides themselves taking care of its community. That means providing the best insurance that keeps you and your family safe in a time of need. And with this honor, Collins Insurance Agency looks forward to providing Stark and surrounding counties the best customer service you and your family deserve. Collins Insurance Agency in Knox, living the golden rule by treating you like family.
Farm Fertilizers and Seeds is proud to be our area's newest sales representatives for Pioneer Hybrid Seed. This is Andy Awald. Pioneer offers top-of-the-line genetics, a complete portfolio including alfalfa and wheat seed, and cutting-edge seed traits and technologies. Combined with exceptional financing options, Pioneer provides the total package, one that we are proud to be able to offer our customers. If you are currently working with a Pioneer sales representative, you've made a good choice. If you aren't, let Farm Fertilizers and Seeds show you how Pioneer can work on your farm. Call us today at 867-2441 to answer any of your questions.
It's time for the Stark County Co-op Play of the Game. Now, let's return to the voices of WKBI Sports Director Mitch Columbi and analyst Chris McGowan.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by First Farmers Bank and Trust, providing state-of-the-art banking with old-fashioned service. We thank them for supporting local high school sports. Chris?
I tell you what, before we get to the play of the game here, let's go through some team statistics here for the game. Obviously, the running clock in the second half, so that kind of dampens the numbers a little bit because of the running clock. But again, the Knox Redskins, 11 first downs, Winamac 7. Rushing, impressive. The Redskins, 27 rushing attempts for 346 yards. Winamac had 22 attempts for 121 yards. Winamac had 134 yards through the air on 6 of 13 passing. Knox had that 20 yards in the first half on 1 of 2, and that 20 yards went for a score. So total offense, Knox ran 29 plays for 366 yards. Winamac, 35 plays for 255 yards. Time of possession evened out in that second half. Winamac possessed the ball for 25 minutes, 46 seconds. Knox, 21 minutes, 38 seconds. Individual here we go. For the Knox Redskins, McLaughlin had 6 attempts for 140 yards. Watson, 4 attempts for 73 yards. Conroy, 5 attempts for 66 yards. And Xavier Roman, 7 attempts, 55 yards. And Connor Winsack had 5 attempts for 12 yards. For the Winamac Warriors, Jaden Jones, 7 rushing attempts, 77 yards. Bazinski had 8 attempts for 59 yards. Lamer, 5 attempts for 1 yard. Wall had 1 attempt for -8, and Cash Roth had 1 attempt for -8 yards. Again, Colin Watson through the air, 1 of 20 for 20 yards and a touchdown. Cash Roth was 6 of 13 through 2 interceptions for 134 yards. Individual receiving, Knox, Logan Taylor had the 1 reception for a 20-yard touchdown. And for Winamac, Jaden Jones had 3 receptions for 62 yards. Bazinski had 2 receptions for 54, and Wall had 1 reception for 18.
Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Nepco Crane and Equipment Services, specializing in mobile crane service. Call Joe Nepp at 1-800-590-2272 for all your residential, commercial, and agricultural crane needs. All right, Chris, it's time now for the Stark County Co-op Play of the Game. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking the play of the game actually would have been the kickoff return. The first play of the game, Knox goes 44 yards for the score. But Winamac then comes back, makes it an 8-6 game.
Yeah.
So they're right back in it. But then that next kickoff, McLaughlin takes it to the house, and Knox never looked back. So to me, the play of the game is that kickoff return there in the first quarter where Knox broke it open.
Well, and I meant to ask you when you were reading the time of possession, the first quarter, just without looking at time, felt longer than the following 3 quarters. That's just how long the first quarter felt.
Well, yeah, when the score is 24-6 in that first quarter, when there's 4 scores, that takes a while. But again, in a matter of about 2.5 minutes, it
was crazy.
There was Knox touchdown, Winamac touchdown, Knox touchdown. So, yeah,
right.
I mean, just boom, boom, boom in a matter of about 1.5, 2 minutes. So, but again, to me, the play of the game, the momentum switch was that kickoff return after Winamac had cut it to 8-6. That to me swung the momentum in Knox's favor, and they never looked back.
Well, there you have it, the play of the game, the Stark County Co-op Play of the Game. We'll be back right after this for the 5-star player of the game. You're listening to the Collins Insurance postgame show on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Browns. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3600 3392, the Stark County Co-op.
For that major cleanup or building project at your house or business, Lap Waste of Monterey offers dumpster rental and trash removal with efficiency and reasonable pricing. Lap Waste provides you with a dumpster rental to meet all your practical needs. Your trash removal needs may include things like refrigerator disposal, construction or yard waste removal, whatever the need. Call Lap Waste at 574-542-4019 or book online. For your trash removal needs, there's no waste with Lap Waste.
Time to announce the Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game. Mitch?
Yeah, thanks, John. It's time now for our Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game. Given in memory of Ashley Derrickson, a 2008 graduate of North Judson San Pierre High School who battled cancer throughout her high school career before losing that battle on December 12th, 2008. We'll tell you right now who earned that or the player of the game. I'm sorry. So what do you think? Who do you think's the player of the game?
We have the spot, don't we?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So we'll tell you who earned that honor after this word from 5-star.
5-star, the largest meat and grocery store in the area, focused on quality, value, and customer service. The 5 stars in the name of the store come from 5 family members of the original owners serving in World War II, each one represented by a blue star on a flag hanging in the front window of the family home. That's why even decades later, 5-star is known for its dedication to service. Now that dedication means savings for you. 5-star, one of the We Care stores, the area's largest meat and grocery store, focused on quality, value, and customer service. Located, you know where, in the Knox.
All right, I have to admit, every time I get to do this for the first time every year, announcing the Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game, just brings back so many memories. Having the opportunity to coach Big D, just a great kid, and tragically lost her life to cancer. But tonight, the Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game. Seriously.
I believe so. I believe you're right.
The freshman.
Yeah.
In his first Friday night action, Miles McLaughlin, number 2.
And I kept thinking he was Conroy. Him and Conroy run darn near the same way.
Yeah, 140 yards on 6 attempts. Real quick, that's just over 23 yards an attempt, doing the math in my head. He scored 3 touchdowns, and one of those was on a 76-yard kickoff return, which was the play of the game.
Yeah.
So, again, what a way to start your high school career. The freshman, number 2, Miles McLaughlin, our very first Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game for the year 2022.
Absolutely, and we're so glad to bring it to you here on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by, of course, 5-star. We thank them for supporting local high school sports and remind you to shop local. That's 5-star in the Knox Mall. Well, we appreciate you tuning in this evening wherever you are throughout the world, WKVI.com or K99.3 FM. We appreciate you tuning in. Until next week, we will be in Knox versus Rochester. Kickoff slated time for 6:30, pregame at 6 Central. We hope you join us then. Until next time, for special guest Nathan Welter, our sports analyst Chris McGowan, I'm Mitch Columbi. The tradition continues. This is Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Thank you for listening to High School Football on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. In part by Culver Portside Marina, Nepco Crane and Equipment Services, specializing in mobile crane service. Dairy Queen of Winamac, Patrick Auto Group, Farm Fertilizers, First Farmers Bank and Trust, Lawrence Farms, Mark's Body Shop in Knox, Zingo Express, Pulaski Memorial Hospital, Stark County Co-op, Ancilla College, LAP Waste Disposal, The Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen, Standard, Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Collins Insurance, Howard's Marathon of Winamac, and 5-star. We thank our sponsors for their dedication in supporting local high school sports.